Once again, I'm live coming in. Hey, what's up, man? What's going on?
Yep.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Yeah, all right.
All right, that's good, man. I'm glad you're doing all right. I'm gonna get these festivities popping off. Crazy stuff here, brother.
A local state of emergency issued for the city of Petersburg from the city entrance, Old Town, and the Appomattox near Ettrick. The nearly 10 inches of rain that dropped since Monday night has flooded everything from streets to businesses, even homes. According to the Petersburg Fire Department, nearly 50 people were evacuated from a flooded apartment complex.
I ain't never seen that much water in the last 2 days that I have seen.
William Brooks says he didn't make it out of his apartment until Tuesday morning.
Because usually when it floods, it's like this. But it was beyond this. The whole street here, back there, the backyard, everything was flooded.
As bad as the flooding is now, he says Monday night was even worse.
Mother Nature. So you got to make the best of what you can.
But Mayor Sam Parham says Tuesday's flooding goes beyond the forces of nature and speaks to decades of neglect.
Shall I say, over 50 years, we have been asking the Corps of Engineers to do the proper dredging that needs to be done to open up the harbor channel, which leads to the Appomattox River. And what we are seeing now are definitely the horrific effects of the many decades of neglect.
Parham says the city essentially needs to remove sediment, silt, and other debris from the Appomattox so that the excess water has room to flood out of the city.
The system cannot handle it, and it just overwhelms it and begins to back up into the community.
But city manager March Altman says the main hurdle is money.
We know it's going to be significant. We have, several projects now, individual projects that would be in the $2 to $3 to $5 million range. Imagine multiplying that across the entire city.
Mayor Parham says city leadership has been in contact with Governor Glenn Youngkin's office to drum up necessary support and funds to address Petersburg's infrastructure issues. He believes the state of local emergency declaration should help with getting state and federal resources. But Altman says even with the help and short-term debris removal solutions, the big fixes could take decades.
If we had all the resources necessary at our disposal, funding and everything, we're still looking at many, many years, 10, 20 years to address all the stormwater needs in the community.
Now, on top of that local emergency declaration, the city manager is asking anyone in the city to reach out if they've had property damage so that they can begin what is called a preliminary damage assessment. That's to present to state leaders to hopefully get the ball rolling on relief efforts that can help people in the city. So if you do have a home, a business, your vehicle, or any other property that was damaged, you are asked to email the emergency management team at Petersburg at em@petersburg-va.org. That'll do it for now here in Petersburg.
All right. Let me tell you something about this shit, Shaq. Shaq, you there? Petersburg is interesting because Petersburg ain't nothing but a small ass town. But they about to get a casino and a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, they got a casino. They got a new basketball coach. Matter of fact, the new basketball coach, I think, getting some of the casino money. Might even have one basketball player from the team getting on the team because most of the guys he recruited out of state. But that's another story. But I like, hey, y'all just flood water and y'all getting the casino there. This is kind of wild. So, yeah, it's been wild up there the last couple of days, bro. But I think Interstate 85 to close, man. It's kind of wild, Like I tell people, like, just be careful right now, bro. It's what it is. But They said there have been 4,400 flood advisory alerts across the country, not just in Virginia. Everywhere. It's a lot of flooding, bro. Just put it out there.
The number one trick to get rid of back rolls forever. Most women think that bra bulges are unavoidable, but it's big brands.
Just last night when we went to sleep, you could see the entire dead end, and now you can swim in it.
Tatiana Jenkins woke up to a lake in her front yard, backyard, and inside her home.
I just don't know what else to do. I had to call out of work this morning. I can't get out, obviously.
Her home on Pinehurst Drive neighbors Blackwater Swamp, and the single mother of four says trash blocking the drain, combined with heavy rains, caused this mess.
So I called somebody this morning, and everybody's afraid to go into the water because they think they might get electrocuted.
Her neighbor showed me these photos of his flooded backyard and shed.
And when I bought this house and we looked on the FEMA website, it actually said it wasn't a flood zone. But the mortgage company that I went with said that I had to get flood insurance just from like their guidelines, which is fine. So I have flood insurance, thankfully.
In the dark and lightning, Petersburg police and fire crews pulled stranded drivers from flooded cars and cleared down trees from blocked roads as waters quickly rose overnight. Thankfully, the waters have receded here on Bolingbroke Street, but look behind me here. That white car at one point was submerged in the water, and the water was so strong it pushed it sideways in the middle of the road. A few feet away, this red sedan sat upside down, trapped between muddy water and debris before it disappeared in Lieutenant Run Creek. This creek is also the location of one of 161 water level gauges across Virginia. They're monitored by Stephen Pyle with the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, who heads the state's new flood intelligence unit.
Conditions can change rapidly and escalate in a short time frame, which is why it's really important to monitor this gauge data, as well as having multiple ways of receiving warnings that are issued by the National Weather Service.
Pyle's data shows Monday night the Lieutenant Run Creek in Petersburg rose more than 10 feet in just 2 hours and 15 minutes, nearly 4 feet past major flood stage. A nearby storage facility told me Tuesday morning they have 2 feet of water standing in their basement. And a post on Facebook, Petersburg Fire urged everyone to stay off the roads unless...
This over here by me, Chak.
Here we are, folks, in Chesterfield County. This is the 100 block of North Arch Road. Let me zoom in down there. There's flash floods this afternoon. They caused the road to turn into a river down at the bottom here on North Arch Road. This is down by I think it's a church down there. I came in off of Reams Road, and as soon as you get to the top of the hill, you can see this mess here. Obviously, there's a lot of rain, a monsoon of rain that fell down on this community just about half an hour ago. And this is the end result. This is what you got. You got a powerful waterway down there that's crossing the road and has washed part of the road out. Obviously, you can't pass through there. So they closed it off above at probably closer to Midlothian Turnpike. And they've got it closed about quarter mile, half mile from Reams Road as well. But firefighters are on scene, police are on scene. It is a mess. There's rushing muddy water down there at the bottom of the hill here on Arch Road. Again, the 100 block of Arch Road. Police have lanes shut down. You can't get through here. There are several flash floods throughout the Central Virginia region. I know we had some stuff on Bainbridge with Swiftwater Rescue earlier. Here we are, folks, in Chesterfield County. This is...
Yep. All these areas are areas I be at, Chak.
Sometimes it feels like there aren't enough hours in the day. Luckily,
All right, Shaq, this is a nurse from Virginia that happened right
A
here.
Henrico nurse has pled guilty to federal charges that were part of the Department of Justice's so-called healthcare fraud takedown. Christina Schatz was charged with 3 counts of tampering with consumer products. Court records show that Schatz was employed at HCA's Chippenham and Johnston Willis Medical Center as a certified registered nurse anesthetist, and the alleged offenses date back to June through August of 2023. Prosecutors say she tampered with the medication dispensing machine by drawing syringes of fentanyl and a sedative called Versed, which is a controlled substance, and put them in her pockets. She then allegedly prepared syringes of a non-controlled sedative mixed with saline and then marked those syringes with pre-printed labels that misidentified them as either fentanyl or Versed, and this was all caught on surveillance video. Prosecutors allege that Schatz administered those substituted drugs to 24 patients during medical procedures. Court records show that Schatz has pled guilty on these charges and admitted to stealing and replacing the drugs more than 30 times. According to the plea deal, Schatz will permanently surrender all of her advanced practice registered nurse licenses in Virginia and will never again administer controlled substances. According to a state database, her nursing licenses are still active, with no past or recent disciplinary actions taken against her by the Board of Nursing, despite the alleged incidents happening 2 years ago. Generally, the Department of Health Professions says its administrative process is separate from criminal proceedings, and it can have its own ongoing investigation alongside a DOJ probe. According to state corporate commission filings, Schatz is listed as the registered agent of the Lucid Med Spa in Henrico, which was formed in February 2024. Its social media listed Schatz as an owner
the nationality.
and its website lists services such as
Go with I
anti-aging.
end with an A.
Now, we reached out to
Say what again, brother?
Huh?
Say it
I said,
again.
let me guess the nationality. Starting with the I end with an A. Hmm?
Yeah, we got. They haven't said that. Oh, obviously.
Well, it said the name. It was Shasta, right?
Oh
Last
yeah,
name correct.
yeah.
That's you know what that is. That's Hindu. Hindu.
Crazy shit, man. All right. Now that's the crazy shit. We really think about it. Yeah, Shaq has been like that. Talking to people today, man. They say diabetes is on the rise, man. They say 1 in 3 teens have pre-diabetes.
This is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop.
The number one food for.
In today's health alert, some alarming news about young people and the risk of developing diabetes. New data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention show that 1 in 3 teenagers have pre-diabetes. Our chief health editor, Dr. Parthanandi, here right now to explain what this means and what can be done to prevent this significant threat to young people's health. This is alarming to hear.
Yeah, this is a big wake-up call for parents like myself. The study included teens and preteens aged 12 through 17, and the CDC found this, that about 8.4 million young people in this age group had prediabetes. That's a big number. And this is in 2023 when the latest data was collected. That amounts to 32.7% of the adolescent population in the entire country, and it represents a major increase over previous years. Now, a person, Carolyn, with prediabetes is blood sugar levels that are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. However, it is a critical warning sign. Prediabetes increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and other serious health conditions like heart disease and stroke.
Wow. So, Dr. Nitty, what are the risk factors for prediabetes and what can be done to reduce these numbers?
Yeah, important question, right? So the main risk factors, Carolyn, for diabetes include being overweight, having a parent or sibling with type 2 diabetes, and not getting enough physical activity. That's big. And eating foods high in sugar. So the good news is this, that prediabetes is preventable and reversible by making some simple lifestyle changes. For example, make sure your teenager eats a balanced diet, includes fruits, veggies, whole grains, and lean proteins. Also encourage them to stay physically active, at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week. Things like walking, cycling, and swimming, fun stuff. And losing weight can significantly improve blood sugar levels. These changes, along with regular checkups with your healthcare provider, can help teens reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and improve their overall health. It's not just like, oh, should we do something about it? It is a crisis. It's imperative we look at this stuff and say we need to do it, and make sure your teenagers are doing this, because if not, then they have an adulthood of diseases and visiting doctors' offices and becoming succumb to these diseases.
Yeah, so many people are food insecure, but kids need to hear this so it sinks in too, along with their adults.
You can be food insecure, but get the right food so that you can have a healthy life. Otherwise, you can spend your life in the doctor's office.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Dr. Nanny, for your expertise as always. We so appreciate you.
Of course.
And if you have a health question for the doctor.
In today's Health Alert, a new study from the CDC is spurring concern about
crazy shit, man. But at least they admit it, though.
the rise in prediabetes among American teens. Joining us to break this down is Dr. Jessica Shepard. She's the Chief Medical Officer at HERS. Dr. Shepard, thanks for being with us. This study is really alarming. What more do we know about what it says about 30% of American teens being considered pre-diabetic in 2023?
Well, even more, Janae, alarming is that we already see this in adults. So now to kind of put that back in the preteen adolescent stage is very concerning, because these are things that can usually be addressed with lifestyle. So we really have to look at what are the causes of this and how do we prevent it? And when we look at that, that's 8.4 million children between the ages of 12 and 17 were labeled pre-diabetic. So that's, again, when blood sugar levels are really elevated and significantly increases your risk of having diabetes later in life. So if later in life for a preteen might be early 20s, 30s, this is concerning because that increases then your risk to heart disease and stroke. So we do know from this study actually that it was more centered on looking at national health and nutrition examinations, which fundamentally is where we start to see some of these rises in blood sugar and also lifestyle. The good thing about this is that we have kind of what you would call maybe a warning or something that we can do on our end to decrease that risk when we think of pre-diabetes going to diabetes. All boils down to lifestyle, and this is why it's so very important that we do actually focus on what children are intaking with their nutrition, but increasing, again, exercise. And exercise is not necessarily when you think of going to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, but literally less screen time, getting outside and playing, with your peers and your colleagues, enjoying sports and making sure that your kids are actually using their body as a form of movement, which we know decreases that blood sugar.
Yeah, it's really important to remember that they've got to get their bodies moving and get off of those screens, all of those reminders. Dr. Shepard, there was also another study from the Journal of American Medicine about the health of American children worsening over the past 17 years, with kids more likely to have obesity and chronic diseases and mental health problems like depression. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, there's a lot that's going to contribute to that as well. Clearly, we went over that with the last study looking at nutrition, but chronic disease is also something that has a broader link when we think of environmental, nutritional, and societal stressors. And that, again, leads to why we see increased risk of depression and anxiety. Again, with chronic diseases, we do know that 7 out of 10 chronic diseases in the US do have a lifestyle root issue. So again, these are things that we have seen in adults in previous decades, and now we're starting to see that trail back. This is where everyone really needs to look at it from a public health perspective, because not only is it an adult population, we are seeing it now in everybody. So chronic diseases can include, again, things like diabetes, but also diseases that we typically don't see from the chronicity standpoint, starting in childhood and more in adult stages. So again, this is where we need to look at the health care of America and understanding why we're starting to see these shift further back rather into the lifestyle of preteens and adolescents. So really good study. And this again should be a warning sign that America's children are kind of at risk for diseases that we typically did not see in the past.
And to your point about
So that goes about that pre-diabetes in teens, brother. It's on the rise, brother.
I ordered 200 hand-forged knives to my dorm room and built a Wix website to sell them.
The Colorado dentist on trial accused.
Chak, what do you think about that, man?
You talking about
The pre-diabetes with the kids.
what's new?
When they say that 1 in 3 kids got pre-diabetes is becoming an epidemic, and they got to do something about it now. That's what they're saying, Chak.
And how they gonna do something with the society, the fabric of the society?
They say work out 150 hours a week, lessen your sugar intake, lose weight. They say you can reverse it that way. And stop eating foods high in sugar. All right. Here goes something for you, Shaq. A dentist accused of lacing his wife's protein shakes on trial for murder.
Of killing his wife of 23 years by allegedly poisoning her slowly. And what prosecutors said today, he was putting in her protein shakes. That trial now underway. And here's our chief national correspondent, Matt Guppin, tonight.
Tonight, prosecutors laying out their case against the former Colorado dentist accused of murdering his wife with protein shakes laced with cyanide, arsenic, and a chemical commonly found in eye drops.
Intentionally and deliberately over the course of 10 days ended her life.
Prosecutors say that in March of 2023, James Craig's wife of over 20 years, Angela, the mother of his 6 children, began experiencing dizziness, headaches, and vomiting. Investigators say James Craig used his dental clinic's computers to research poisons, logging searches such as how to make poison and is arsenic detectable in autopsy. Angela Craig was hospitalized at least 3 times over 10 days before she died in March of 2023.
But there is a motive. And you ask yourself, is it my problems? Is it other women? Yes.
We exclusively interviewed the so-called other woman, a respected orthodontist named Karen Kane, their relationship playing out in texts and phone calls, though she says it never got physical.
Do you think that James Craig allegedly poisoned his wife to clear the deck so he could be with you?
There's no way I'm motive. There's been no planning a future together.
And in court today, the defense attorney for the dentist tried to paint the picture that James Craig's wife, Angela, may have been suicidal.
She was broken. And in fact, by her own words, she was broken. She was struggling.
And David, the prosecution says that that is just another lie from James Craig. They say he also tried to fabricate evidence to show that his wife was suicidal, even plotted to try to have the lead investigator in this case killed. James Craig has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges, David.
Damn. Crazy shit, ain't it, Shaq? Wow. Ouch. Hey, man, watch your protein shakes.
Yeah, she's, but yeah.
But shoot, I had one of my buddies call me yesterday. He said his ex-wife, he had to put a strain on her. She stalking him, she sent texting him, contacting. Then somehow she went on Facebook or something and got his new girlfriend number he living with and told her, that he was like he done filled out for divorce 3 years ago, but she won't sign the papers and shit. She done threatened to come bust his windshield up and all that, man. So he had to file a restraining order and shit. But that's how it be, man. You know, hey, shit happens, Shaq. So domestic stuff happens all the time. Ex-wife, new wife, this one, that one. I mean, that's how it be, bro. So yep. So you can't never think that shit won't happen. Because these things happen all the time.
I was the first one to ever join the military in my family. I knew that I wanted to go back to
That's why
school,
you
and
having all
produce a
these
big
water
name. So to finish and get a degree.
And the U.S. government is again allowing NVIDIA to sell its artificial intelligence chips to China, lifting a ban that had been in place since April. AI was on President Trump's mind today at an energy and innovation summit in Pittsburgh. Nancy Cordes is there.
If AI is the future, this is where the future is being built.
If I were to pull it, it's like pulling a person standing in one place.
At Skilled AI in Pittsburgh, engineers are developing robots that can learn to do all kinds of tasks, from cleaning the kitchen to setting up solar panels in the desert.
This robot can be in places where humans do not want to be, or it's too dangerous for them.
Deepak Pathak and Abhinav Gupta have raised more than $300 million to chase a breakthrough, a human-style brain that can adapt to new situations in real time.
If you think of how robotics hardware, it has existed for decades. But why are still the robots not out there? Because it's the brain that has been missing. Until you have a brain, that hardware is almost useless.
The two are robotics professors at Carnegie Mellon University, which today hosted President Trump and Pennsylvania officials for a first-of-its-kind AI summit, where companies announced more than $90 billion worth of investments in AI and the massive amounts of energy that will be needed to power it.
China and other countries are racing to catch up to America, having to do with AI, and we're not going to let them do it. We have the great chips, we have the great everything, and we're going to be fighting them in a very friendly fashion.
Outside the summit, students protested Trump's recent rollback of his predecessor's clean energy subsidies. Solar and wind are the fastest growing sources of electricity.
China makes windmills, but how many wind farms do you see in China? I haven't seen any lately.
6 out of 10. What you need to class?
Actually, China has nearly doubled its wind power capacity.
Say what again?
Oh, my bad. The mic was open. I'm talking about the boys up there in Virginia got the new album out.
All right. So this company,
your Virginia natives.
Oh, you talking about the Clips?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they got a new album out. Yeah, they was on Breakfast Club, as a matter of fact. This company they were talking about made 10. The company that was talking about that chip maker, they became the first company to get $4 trillion.
Shares of chipmaker NVIDIA hit a major milestone in early trading on Wednesday, when the shares rose as high as $164, putting the company's value at a whopping $4 trillion. This surge in the share price has been driven, of course, by the wider AI boom that was kicked off just over 2 years ago. And back then, shares of NVIDIA started the year 2023 at just $14. So you can see how much it's risen since then. That's about the same time that ChatGPT was making its debut to the world, taking everyone by storm, capturing everyone's imagination. So since then, the technology world has been scrambling to cash in on this AI boom. Other tech companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and OpenAI are all pouring billions and billions of dollars into the AI industry. And of course, underpinning this all is NVIDIA's GPUs, the chips that it makes, known as graphics processing units. They're just way better at processing the information, the training data needed to power artificial intelligence.
So at the company that they was actually that was at the summit that they were talking about. But that's why you have a lot of these water issues, floods, and stuff like that. Because the AI, you're gonna have to move some people out to bring all these data centers in. So there ain't no question these areas getting flooded out. They say they stole Beyonce's records.
Personally, I'd go with Sparkle. It cleans everyday messes, and it won't clean out your wallet.
Songs stolen in Atlanta. Police say thieves broke into a car belonging to the superstar's dancers. It happened last week on Krog Street. Investigators say 2 suitcases were stolen from a parking deck along with computer hard drives. The driver of the car told police the hardware contained unreleased music, footage, plans, and set lists. Beyonce is set to take the stage tonight at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the final night of her Cowboy Carter tour.
At noon, commotion in the MARTA.
And as a matter of fact, I know a girl that went there last night, grew up with her. She went, but some people got hurt last night, they say there as well. Had like a stampede or something that happened outside of the concert yesterday. So that's how it is, bro.
Station after the Beyonce concert ends with several people in ambulances. A MARTA spokesperson says there were several people who were hurt when people on the escalator crashed onto each other. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond is live from the Vine City MARTA station. Sarah, there are a lot of unanswered questions. What exactly happened here?
Well, a MARTA spokesperson tells us that 9 people were hurt when that crowd rushed onto the escalator. It suddenly sped up and then abruptly stopped, sending a crowd of people crashing to the bottom of the escalator. Today, that escalator here is barricaded, but you can still see necklaces and earrings caught in the grates. And overnight, our crews saw multiple people leave the area in ambulances. For some concert goers, a night of singing along to Beyonce at Mercedes-Benz Stadium ended with chaos in the nearby MARTA station.
Kind of just shuffling our feet. That's how tight it is in there.
As a huge crowd of people entered the Vine City MARTA station after the concert, a spokesperson for MARTA says someone started screaming and running, and that jump-started a stampede towards the escalator where Amber Anderson was riding.
I see that people are starting to run at the entrance. Which, of course, when you see somebody running, you probably want to run too.
According to MARTA, the rush of people caused the escalator to temporarily speed up and then abruptly stop, sending a pile of people to the ground. Anderson said couldn't stop herself from winding up with the 20 people ahead of her and wound up with her leg pinned against the wall.
He now is up under someone. I slide up under him. There's somebody that comes behind me.
Anderson recalls being afraid of how many people would end up on top of her, but says thankfully they were able to start picking people up. MARTA says 1 person was taken to the hospital with a broken ankle, 7 others were taken with cuts and scrapes, and 1 other declined treatment. One of the people injured spoke briefly to our crew at the scene overnight.
What happened? The Escalade went out and everyone tumbled out.
Anderson says she's thankful it wasn't any worse.
And I told my friend on the ride back, I said, we're supposed to be talking about how amazing the concert was because it was absolutely amazing. But this is what we're talking about.
Now, a MARTA spokesperson tells us the escalator manufacturer Schindler and MARTA Safety are all investigating what exactly happened here. Live from the Vine City MARTA station in Atlanta, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
So if I turned off Ada tomorrow, I would need to double my support teams.
Welcome back.
All right, Shaq, this is about healthcare workers. We talked about this was going to happen years ago. We said he was going to start attacking healthcare workers. And he's saying like this was going on.
Count on them during our worst moments, but many of us don't realize the constant threat faced by healthcare workers. Savage attacks from the very people they're trying to help.
That's right. Healthcare workers are 5 times more likely to be injured by violence on the job than any other lines of work. Senior investigative reporter Lisa Fletcher has reported on this for years now, and now she's asking why more hasn't been done to protect our critical caregivers.
Patients in emergency room triage are at their most vulnerable.
This is the room where I was assaulted.
But it is doctors and nurses across the country who are increasingly finding themselves defenseless to violent attacks in those safe spaces.
She basically stood up, punched me, and I did fall off my chair into this desk here.
Beaten and bruised, Maryland nurse Lisa Fisher was left with a black eye and 3 stitches.
You must have been so shocked and disoriented.
Totally shocked. I had no idea it was coming.
I'm trying to get help.
But those unpredictable attacks are happening more often than you might think.
It is definitely on the rise. And it's not just here. It's not just my county or Maryland. It's nationwide.
Where is the injured nurse? The nurse is in the floor.
This Florida nurse was nearly beaten to death by a patient. This Pennsylvania gunman used nurses as human shields. And these are the faces of doctors recently murdered at work in Oklahoma and Tennessee. And it's getting worse. In 2015, a survey found 47% of emergency room doctors and 1 in 4 nurses reported being physically assaulted at work. 10 years later, a staggering 91% of ER doctors and 80% of nurses report violence on the job.
I can say, just in hospitals that I'm aware of, we've had, more than 6 incidents. Several nurses have been hospitalized. Several nurses have not been able to come back to work or have had permanent impairments. And that's just really in the last 2 or 3 years.
Only a dozen states have laws requiring healthcare employers create workplace violence prevention plans. Just this month, Virginia joined that list, requiring hospitals to create a system to document and track violence. There have been attempts at the federal level to protect healthcare workers, but none has become law.
When you look closely, this has become a real national crisis, really.
Maryland's U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen is co-sponsoring a bill that requires healthcare employers to create a violence prevention plan.
In 2021, a similar bill had 145 co-sponsors. In 2023, a similar bill had more than 170 co-sponsors. Yet both times it got derailed. Where do you think the hiccup is?
Well, there's some folks that just don't like the idea ever of putting in place sort of workplace safety regulations. They prefer sort of a free-for-all environment. I think that's a mistake.
Who needs to buck up, and who's been preventing action up until now?
Well, we'll see. We've introduced this piece of legislation. We hope to get it over the finish line. We unfortunately, do not have, strong bipartisan support at this moment.
All right, I'm just going to put this on your arm.
Nurse Lisa Fisher says she's doing her job.
We're almost there, almost done.
It's time for Congress to do theirs.
We are here to help people. We are nurses that get into these unpredictable situations that are sometimes, out of our control. But being assaulted is not part of our job.
There's also legislation being floated in both houses that would make it a federal crime to assault a healthcare worker on the job. That appears to have bipartisan support. We're keeping an eye on it. Michelle?
Lisa, obviously there's a tremendous cost in pain and suffering, of course, to those involved. But any sense of the wide-ranging financial cost to these attacks?
Actually, yes. There's a new report that just came out from the American Hospital Association, and it found that
Here's how a doctor treats toenail fungus without a prescription. If your toenail fungus came back after using tea tree, Vicks, or a common fungus cream, you need to see this. And let me show you how to get rid of.
This emergency alert screeched from phones all over Pennsylvania this afternoon as major problems with 911 spread to every corner of the state. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Ken Rice. That alert came at around 3:30, about an hour after the problem was first.
Hey, yeah, Chak. So in Pennsylvania, they had problems the other day. The 911 was out. You couldn't even call the emergency hotline, brother. That was out. Everything getting fucked up, ain't it, man?
First detected on the other side of Pennsylvania. KDK's Ricky Sayer joins us live from Allegheny County 911 with the latest on what's going on tonight. Ricky.
Yeah, Allegheny County 911 says they are back up and running, that all calls are going through, but that is not the case in most other counties. And the state says they still haven't pinpointed the problem or the cause. Throughout Picklesburg, the emergency alerts went off in unison.
I thought it was kind of crazy. I was a little bit afraid.
Pennsylvania Emergency Management said the whole state was facing an intermittent 911 outage.
It's scary.
Well, at first I said, oh my God, but then I didn't know what to do about it.
Here at Picklesburg, it meant theoretically someone facing issues due to the heat couldn't rely on dialing 911 to reach Allegheny County's 911 center.
It's very concerning.
We're told most, but not all calls were going through in Allegheny County. The state's EMA director, Randy Padfield, said that now the case across the entire state.
Again, I want to stress these were intermittent issues.
At Ross Westview EMS, paramedic supervisor Charles Reiner said it didn't impact them directly, but at many fire stations in instances like this, they always have someone ready to pick up the phones.
So it used to happen.
Harkening back to a time before 911. When it comes to the risk of not having reliable EMS, he says there could be a delay in response.
It's a shame. I mean, it's it's certainly far light years above where it used to be, years back. It's something that all in all, day by day usually works very well.
But we understand that this is concerning because people want to have faith in the 911 system. Like I said, we have procedures in place to be able to kind of troubleshoot this.
Padfield said the issue lies with the next-gen 911 service. It's a contracted vendor. He didn't rule out the cause as being with software, hardware, or even a cyber attack.
They have a number of technical experts engaged on their end to try to determine what the causative factor happens to be.
Mark Hoffman said he hopes everything is resolved quickly.
It's a very important system. I mean, that's our go-to for every emergency.
So here in Allegheny County, an EMA spokesperson tells me they started having issues at 3. That's opposed to 2 on the other side of the state. One last thing to note, in places where they are having issues, that in sometimes that the EMA or the dispatchers aren't actually being able to tell where those incidents are taking place, when normally they would automatically know where the emergencies are taking place. And we're also told that calls are still going through here at the 911 center here in Allegheny County. That could change later. Live in Moon Township, Ricky Sayer, KDK TV News.
Okay, Ricky, thanks. And if you find yourself in an emergency and you're in a county where the
Walmart's got low prices for back to school. With tech from $9, kids fashion from $4, and school supplies starting at 25 cents. Shop back to school for less at Walmart.
It's not surprising given the reality we're now in. The chaos in college football, the simple proposition that players can get paid. They can get paid by anyone not connected to the program.
Chak, you there?
They're getting paid by the program. How does that mindset apply at high school football? And what it created, I think, was a degree of nonchalance for Teddy Bridgewater, the head coach at
Teddy Bridgewater,
Miami Northwestern.
quarterback.
He coached the team to a state championship last year. Then
You said what? Yeah,
What
Teddy
team you
Bridgewater.
talking about?
Teddy
What
Bridgewater
team?
is coaching. He got a high school team that he was coaching, but he's been suspended from the team.
Damn.
He got suspended. Like they said, it ain't nothing he did bad, but you know, they say a lot of the kids didn't really have a lot, right?
Okay.
So they're saying that he was helping his players. I'm gonna read it to you because they might not tell it to you all the way. He was suspended after spending nearly $70,000 of his own money to support his players, covering expenses from field paint and meals to transportation, therapy, and a preseason training camp. He gave freely help kids succeed, but he is being suspended now for giving too much. He's been vocal about wanting to make a difference on there, especially for kids who lack the support and systems that often determine athletic and academic futures. His suspension is not about corruption and recruiting violations. It is about a man trying to help his players, minimum who come from economic challenge background. But the Florida, I think it's FHSAA, I think it's Florida, rule book is clear. Coaches and athletes cannot provide athletes with material support beyond specific limits, regardless of where the money comes from. The rule is designed to prevent wealthy programs from gaining unfair advantages by offering perks to student athletes. But in practice, these rules can have a different effect on coaches who want to do more for their players. He wasn't buying luxury gear. He was paying for basic needs like ensuring meals, access to meal, transportation, healthcare, things many schools do through boosters or local scholarships. So there's been an outcry about it, but according to the rules, when you're coaching high school football, you can't give kids Uber rides and things like that. So they basically suspended him from high school football. He said he'll volunteer in the stands for free, but they told him, hey man, you paying for the kids' meals and stuff. You can't be doing that. So they suspended Teddy Bridgewater. So that's what happened. Yeah. Crazy shit, ain't it? That's how it be, man. But the crazy part, the college football got NIL money, so I kind of confused how this shit working. Hey, man. Chak, what can a brother do?
and came back and played for the Lions in the postseason. He's back coaching again, but now he's suspended. And look, how did this all come to light? He goes to social media and he's trying to get supporters of the program to pay for some of the things he paid for last year, like Uber rides, $700 a week, pregame meals, athletic recovery services. And I just think the fact that it's so out in the open now and it's so accepted now that the players get benefits, that people may not stop and think, hey, there may be some rule out there that I'm breaking. And look, when you consider the schools that Miami Northwestern competes with, I can understand why the coaches of the other schools are like, what the hell? We don't have this for our players. Why should they be allowed to do it for their players? But I think the more common reaction to this is good. Hey, Teddy Bridgewater's got the resources. He's taking care of these kids. 75% of the kids at Miami Northwestern come from economically disadvantaged homes. Good, good. Give them some value for what they're doing. It's, it's a question of rules are rules versus what's good for the kids. And we've seen the rules are rules crowd losing repeatedly at the NCAA level. And I think it's created this mindset of who cares about the rules if it's good for the kids. And I think that's where most people come down. That's where I come down. I do understand why the coaches of the program would be saying, hey, you know, this isn't fair to us because these Miami Northwestern kids are getting the benefits directly from having a guy who made millions of dollars as an NFL quarterback, paying for Uber rides, meals, etc. So it's a weird situation. It's a predictable byproduct of the new NIL reality at the college level. And it remains to be seen what it means for Teddy Bridgewater. Will he just step down? Will he go back and sign with the Lions? Will he sign with a team? Will he be a backup quarterback this year? Will he go to a place where he thinks he might be able to play this year? He's only 32. It feels like he's been around forever. He's 32. So we'll be watching the story. And it's unfortunate that it happened because at the end of the day, it was good for the kids. And I understand it may be fair to the other schools and the conference that Miami Northwestern is in, but it was good for the kids, and it was good that Teddy Bridgewater was doing it. And the fact that it all came to light just shows you how common and how accepted this concept is, that the kids who play the game that we love to watch are finally getting something in return for the effort and the sacrifice and the talent that they display.
So maybe Teddy Bridgewater will be coaching again, or maybe he'll my bad. Maybe he'll be coaching again, or maybe he'll be they might not let him coach high school football no more. Who knows? What they're saying, he really didn't do that too bad, but you know, he just, you know. The other coaches saying you're giving the kids Uber rides and recovery methods and free meals. We can't do that, so why are you doing it? So seemed like a little situation there.
I don't know, man. It's a catch-22 type thing there, man.
Well, yeah, because like they're saying, like, you know, he an NFL quarterback. He probably got the money to pay for them kids. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, like, but to me, it ain't big a deal as many people think, because what's the difference between him doing it and NIL doing it? NIL doing way more. They say Teddy Bridgewater ain't spending nothing but $70,000 of his own money to do this. NIL dude paying $7 million. Shit. Fuck. I look at it like, huh?
I mean, you know, man, they always do that type of shit. They'll find some type of rules in the rule book to try to, you know, hey, man, damn, they violate. They must be a good team this year.
I gotta go back and look. I think they was undefeated or lost one game.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, if they were undefeated, I'm pretty sure they can say it was a competitive advantage.
I mean, then you would have to say that for all these other schools. Why you think people send their kids to these schools, IMGs and shit like that? Because it's a competitive, it's an academical, the academic programs is better. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute.
Everything is better.
Time out.
Equipment is better. Everything is better. You just feel better. If you're in a better organization, you're just gonna feel better and play better.
Time out. You know, I was at the park Saturday, and the guy brought his kid out there, right? And the kid had a Fort. I said, "Do you go to Fort Union?" He's like, "I'm going to Fort Union this year." Fort Union is a private military academy where they got a big sports program. Okay. So this is nothing new. It's boys around here that play at prep schools all the time. Trinity is one of the biggest prep schools in Richmond, Virginia. Actually, in Rico, I think. But yeah, like Armando Baycott went there. A lot of people went there. So they got football, basketball. Like, what's the big problem? Parents really want their kids to get to these type of schools. These are prep schools where you get notoriety. You play at Trinity, you probably can get looked at by one of these colleges. Just letting you know.
But yeah, I mean, equipment is better. I mean, everything. The food is better. I mean, it's just like this. So him being able to create, because it wouldn't be no different than an athlete that went to the league or a person that went to one of those colleges where it was a junior college, high school, and then they what they call it, they give kickbacks to the city, and then the city use that money to upgrade their schools and stuff like that. It's just persuade nobody. What's the name is like you say, provide them with the things some of the other schools got.
You're right.
But it's a catch-22 because, like you said,
Well, that's how it goes on that end. I kind of was like, Teddy Bridgewater had an interesting career. Like I told you, he just was on the Lions last year. Matter of fact, he coached the high school team last year and then came and played for the Lions in the playoffs. He was trying to win a Super Bowl, obviously, but he lost. But
nah, we on about 30 minutes. What long we been on? Yeah, we've been on about how long we been on? About 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Yeah. You actually, longer than that, about 50 minutes while I was up.
About 50 minutes? You said we've been on about 50 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Somebody. Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, like I said, me personally, I looked at it like
You should have brought them up on the panel. They let them, you know what I'm saying?
Who?
I'm not sure. Nah, I'm talking about Frank.
Oh, well, yeah.
Shit, he said he got on the ballot. He got caught, out in the mix. Out and about in the mix.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I had texted him. Yeah, he came out, I did send it to him, actually. Yeah, I sent it to him. I sent it to him way earlier. As a matter of fact, I sent it to him and Dawson, matter of fact. Probably came up as a photo or something, because that junk do be coming up in your junk, like a photo, like or some shit.
Yeah, sometimes, like with this iPhone.
I look a lot different.
With this iPhone, like a text message, it don't show up. I gotta tap on it. It'll tell me to tap on it, and then the photo will come up. Like you said, the image will come up, but it'll be just like blank. You gotta tap on it till you tap on the blank. So I don't know. Maybe that's for I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It might happen to him too, but yeah, that's cool. I mean, but I did. Yeah, I texted him and everything. I sent it to him on Messenger earlier. I said him and Dawson, matter of fact. But yeah, I don't tell you, I just get back. All right, no black people left in New York.
Are quieter now. The brownstones are polished, the corner stores replaced with oat milk cafes, and the laughter of generations of black families who once called the city home is fading into silence. A passing car blasts soca music, a rhythmic echo of a new cultural wave. But where are the bass lines of Eric B. and Rakim, the unapologetic funk of James Brown, the pulse of Big Daddy Kane echoing from boomboxes on stoops? That sound, raw, powerful, unmistakably Black American, is gone. This is not the New York of the 1980s or even the early 2000s. This is something different. For over a century, New York was a northern beacon for Black Americans escaping the violence of Jim Crow. But now, those same communities are vanishing, slowly, quietly, and almost no one is asking why. This is not just about gentrification. It's not just about rent. This is about the erasure of legacy. A displacement so vast has reshaped the cultural backbone of the city that once prided itself on diversity. Today on Scope News, we investigate the disturbing reality behind what some are calling the Black Exodus from New York. In 2000, the Black population of Brooklyn stood proud, nearly 800,000 strong. Fast forward to 2020, and that number had dropped by nearly 70,000 people. Bed-Stuy, once known as the largest Black community in America, saw its non-Hispanic Black population drop by over 22,000 residents in just a decade. East New York followed close behind. Crown Heights is now a shadow of its former self. This isn't it's a flood, and it's being masked as development. New condo high-rises pop up where public housing once stood, rents skyrocket from $900 to $3,000 in less than 5 years. And longtime residents, families who lived in these neighborhoods for 3, 4, 5 generations, are told to move along. You can't afford it here anymore. But they could before. So what changed? Harlem is the spiritual heart of Black New York. But even here, the culture is thinning. Black-owned businesses are pushed out. Historic churches are closed or converted into luxury condos. The Apollo Theater still stands, but the community that once filled its seats is leaving in droves. So where are they going? South, to Atlanta, to Charlotte, to Houston, to Raleigh. This modern reversal of the Great Migration is pulling thousands of Black New Yorkers toward places with lower rent, job opportunities, and, most importantly, respect. The census tells the story plainly. Since 2000, over 180,000 Black residents have left NYC. Meanwhile, cities in the South are booming with new Black middle-class enclaves, church communities, and entrepreneurs. But why did they have to leave in the first place? While Black residents are leaving, another population is rapidly expanding. In the last 5 years, New York City has absorbed tens of thousands of new immigrants, particularly from West Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, and more recently, asylum seekers from Venezuela, Haiti, and other nations. This wave has overwhelmed public housing, school systems, and shelters. City leaders have declared a migrant crisis, while working-class residents, many of them Black, say they're being pushed aside in favor of newcomers. Subsidies, housing vouchers, and resource allocations are being restructured to accommodate migrant families, leading many lifelong New Yorkers to ask, why didn't the city ever help us like this? The contrast is sparking resentment and fear that the city's demographic shift is not accidental, but strategic. On TikTok and Twitter, the complaints are loud, raw, and unfiltered. Videos show once thriving neighborhoods now cluttered with tents, trash, and overcrowded shelters. Locals call it a humanitarian crisis, but they also call it an insult to taxpayers, especially Black families who've been in the city for generations. Some viral posts bluntly claim that New York now resembles a third world country, not in racial makeup, but in infrastructure, sanitation, and overcrowding. And these aren't just exaggerations. In 2023, the city reported record levels of emergency shelter usage, subway delays, school over-enrollment, and garbage-related complaints. Harlem, the Bronx, Queens. Entire blocks look abandoned or neglected, while billions are funneled toward managing the migrant surge. The optics are hard to ignore. Black Americans are exiting, new immigrants are entering. And the system doesn't seem interested in fighting to keep the people who built this city in the first place. Meanwhile, behind closed doors and in the break rooms of precincts across the city, law enforcement officials are saying what politicians refuse to. Violent crime is exploding, and the numbers are pointing directly to the migrant crisis. According to internal NYPD reports cited by whistleblowers, illegal aliens were responsible for up to 75% of violent crime arrests in Midtown Manhattan. That includes robberies, assaults, and domestic violence, most involving repeat offenders. In Queens, officers report similar patterns, with more than half of arrests tied to undocumented individuals. One veteran cop called it a city under siege, while others say sanctuary policies and no-bail laws are making it impossible to maintain public safety. The result? Areas like Roosevelt Avenue and 91st Street now resemble open-air black markets, with moped gangs, migrant turf wars, and rising fear among longtime residents. Some police sources even claim that members of the Venezuelan criminal syndicate Tren de Aragua have infiltrated shelters and neighborhoods, operating with impunity while officials look the other way. To many, New York no longer feels like home. It feels like survival. Don't let the skyline fool you. New York isn't kind to everyone. Black New Yorkers have long earned less than white and Asian residents, faced higher unemployment, and were more likely to be essential workers during the COVID-19 pandemic, which hit Black communities hardest. Many were laid off, priced out, or left behind as the city reopened. In Bed-Stuy and the South Bronx, median Black household income still lags behind by tens of thousands of dollars. And while gentrification has brought in high-end gyms and wine bars, it hasn't brought equity. The jobs don't pay more. The taxes go up. The schools don't improve for everyone. The message is clear. You can stay here, but you can't afford to live.
That's right there in New York City.
Yeah, it is a lot of New Yorkers moving out of New York. They're moving down south, South Carolina, Texas, Florida. Yeah. Yep, they've
Well,
been,
right
yep.
now there's a new act that Republicans and Democrats are planning on signing. They're calling it the Dignity Act. And that'll be basically giving undocumented immigrants
Thank you, and I agree with
what do you call it? How can I put it? Basically legal status that they've been in the country a long time.
my colleagues, bipartisan coalition that we have here, that this is one of the most important topics that we are facing as lawmakers. We are proud Republicans, and we do know, and I agree with Newhouse, that this is the moment to fix the immigration system that has been broken for the last 40 years. For everybody, for the families, for the agriculturals, for construction, for hospitality, for the average American. President Trump promised that he was going to seal the border. He did. That he was going to deport Nicaragua. He's doing it. That he was going to do away with the gangs, MS-13. He was going to send them back to El Salvador. That is happening as we speak. So we applaud that, because no one wanted an open border. No one wanted 4 years of open borders with 10 million people, many of them child sex traffickers, bringing kids from Central and South America. We don't know where they are, and we need to find them. So the problem was immense, but this administration fixed it in 40 days. As Newhouse said, our country has been built on immigrants. My parents, first generation Cuban American, others are Greek Americans, others are Italian. It doesn't matter. We all come from somewhere. And right now, as statistics indicate, we have from 10 to 12 million people who are immigrants. Many of them sound and look like me, Hispanics from Central and South America, who have been here for more than 5 years. They are not the people who just arrived through the border 4 years ago, who have been the silent heroes. They have been doing in silence, day after day, the work that is needed for our economy to grow, in agricultural, in construction, in hospitality. These people do not have a criminal record. Many of them have American children. Many of them have been paying taxes year after year, knowing that they're not going to get that money back. But nonetheless, they're here because they love the American dream. And they have helped us to have food by Friday, as Newhouse said, to have new homes for the workforce, and to be able to go to nice hotels and pay a cheap price. So it's time to do something revolutionary and give them a dignified life in the promised land. And that is the name of my bill. 4 years ago, we introduced.
Who is this?
You were none of the House. He was one of those who accompanied me on this train.
Who is this?
But now is
It's a Republican woman named Maria Salazar.
And where she come? Oh, her last name I already tell you right there. Where's she from? California? New York? Where's she from? The Promised Land. Man, fuck your Promised Land bill. I just said that in the crowd. Man, fuck your Promised Land bill. What y'all trying to reconstruct y'all homeland, bro? Y'all been eating off this motherfucking USA for, like you said, 60 goddamn years. Go back home. Trump trying to send y'all back home and say, hey, bro, the temporary status is over, bro. Go back home now. Y'all done built up enough fucking money here in America. Y'all ain't paying no goddamn taxes like that, dude. Lying. She's a liar.
As a matter of fact,
She's lying. Cause look, I'm gonna tell you why because they buy their own food. They get their food. They got grocery stores and shit. They not paying the tax that we pay when we go to the store and pay, bro.
As a matter of fact, she in the same state Trump in. She in Miami. She in Miami-Dade.
Well, that's even worse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they immigrants been took that motherfucker over.
Now check this out. She the assistant Republican whip because when Trump was talking about giving those farm workers amnesty and stuff like that, or letting them stay in hotels and stuff. As a matter of fact, this bro went to Miami-Dade and University of Miami and goddamn Harvard University. Go. Oh, bad, ain't she? She's 63 years old and she worked for Telemundo.
See what I'm saying? She ain't contribute to no United States of America. She contribute to, they come in, then they give it their people, and they contribute to their people, and they represent their people, but they get in America, they get in U.S. politics, and they provide for their people. But they posing as if they're providing for the American people. You're a goddamn lie.
Now check this out.
I can't get high for Telemundo.
Check this out. She was born.
Bitch.
She was born in Little Havana, the daughter of Cuban exiles.
The daughter of Cuban exiles. See what I'm saying? Frank, man, you gotta get in on the show, man. We talking about some shit. You talking about that?
All right. So look.
Yeah, they talking about them motherfucker coming in, man, merging into the company culture, man. It's still talking about.
She spent
You say she's a Cuban who?
Well, she spent part of her childhood in Puerto Rico too, so she been moving around a little bit.
Yeah, man. And my family probably worked for the government. You know what I'm saying? Snitching out motherfuckers, ratting people out down there in Cuba and Puerto Rico and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they come to America and they get them positions in, go to these prestigious colleges and then they get to, get up in these political positions and shit. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She
Yeah, that's why they can't ever go back because they probably would be, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
as a matter of fact, this same woman.
Huh? I don't know.
This same woman that's talking this was endorsed by Donald Trump, and she endorsed him.
Yep.
Yep.
You
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, she endorsed Trump, and he endorsed her.
Well, of course. I mean, because like you said, they play the Republican game. Like you said, these people know the game, bro. They get taught the game well. You know what I'm saying? And they know how to run the game well. And
now, check this out, Shaq.
She's talking about American children. You're not American children. You're born in America, but you're not American children, man. You're not American.
Now, wait a minute now. But guess what? I'm going to tell you why he endorsed her, too. You remember your thing that you sent a while back called the Take It Down Act?
Yeah.
She was the one who backed that, the Take It Down Act. That's her. That's why I brought her up here, because I wanted you to know who she was.
And you say she's in Miami. She's a Miami who?
She a Miami-Dade representative, man.
House representative?
Yeah, House rep. Yep.
Now, that's what I'm saying, bro. This is a problem. Immigrants get to come in. Second class, third class immigrants get to come in and be House representatives in these states over the indigenous people, bro. That's the game they've been running on us.
Now watch this. She a Republican assistant whip. And she also worked for CNN, Espanol, and Univision.
I bet she did. But she telling us she represents American people. No, you represent your people. They giving you like liaisons. That's all it is. Liaison. You probably got some snitch. You definitely got a snitch in your blood. You know what I'm saying? You're a snitch. You're a spy. You know what I'm saying? That's why they can't never go back home. Because hold on though. They be getting as smart as they're supposed to be and telling is, why they can't go back home and get into politics back home and to make the home better. That's the question I be want to have. How long does it take for you to suck off the titties of the milk and honey? Goddamn, for you to be fully nourished. Goddamn. That's what I'm saying. All these motherfuckers are Haitians, all these motherfuckers capping this shit, bro. It's time to go back home. They don't want to go back home. Because guess what? They'll be a regular motherfucker. But see, they can play this game, this first class game in the United States. Go back home, they just a regular motherfucker. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Because if you that great, you should go back home and run for politics, president, governor, whatever the fuck position you got down there. You would think, right?
Let me bring this up. Let me bring this up because I want to bring this up about her, which is because it's very interesting right now. She also in the Take It Down Act thing, right? So what I'm saying about her, and you realize that what she's talking about. Like I said, she high up in range of Republicans, obviously, right? She's a Republican assistant whip. So I already told you that.
Assistant who?
Republican assistant whip, like a minority whip. Like she's like you got the majority whip and you got the minority. She's like in that type of. She's a.
You said whip. What the fuck is a whip? What's that? What does that mean?
Maybe like a second in command, like.
But see, this is what I'm saying. They bring these people in, man. They put them over, and they be the main ones judging and ruling and locking us up with harsh penalties. They you know what I'm saying? They be ones creating these harsh
now
crime bills against us, man, locking us up, giving us all this damn time and shit.
Let me tell you something about. Let's speak that they say she's the daughter of Cuban exile. Now Marco Rubio is a Cuban. He's the Secretary of State. Do you know Cubans in Miami cannot stand Marco Rubio? Because Marco Rubio actually is a big time Zionist, man. You know that, right? A lot of Cubans can't stand Marco Rubio. That's what I'm telling you. So you got a point with these people that's in the they more are like spies and informants because ain't no way in hell this shit going down like that.
Bro, how can you be illegal, go to another country, nigga, and then work your way up into the government? Bro, if that ain't corruption, I don't know what the hell, what you call it.
So the question is, are because like I said, they moving on up on the east side. Now hold on, let's hear again.
Partisan legislation, and with that, I reserve the balance of my time as just speaker.
Gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I yield as much time as she may consume. The sponsor, the House sponsor of this particular bill, my good friend, a very effective member of Congress from South Florida, Ms. Salazar.
The gentlewoman is recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And every generation of Congress faces moments that test our commitment to justice. And today is one of those moments. I rise today to urge my colleagues to vote yes on S-146, the Take It Down Act. The Senate has already done its job. They passed this legislation unanimously. Now it's our turn, the House of Representatives. This is our moment to stand up to protect our children and make it the law of the land. The name of the legislation is Take It Down. The mission of this bill is simple, profound, and long-lasting. It stops cyber abuse. It prevents the bullying of one child against another, and even more importantly, it prevents suicide born out of shame. It is outrageously sick to use images, the face, the voice, the likeness of a young, vulnerable female to manipulate them, to extort them, and to humiliate them publicly, just for fun, just for revenge. And that is why we created this bill, to stop the abuse spreading like wildfire right now on social media.
Why she gonna get in
It is
politics?
widely known that 99% of the time, the
What the hell
victim,
did her
most of
family
them
do
girls, don't
to get
even know
exiled out of Cuba? That we need to look up. Why you trying to author some damn laws and bills in the United States? You need to go back to goddamn Cuba with that shit.
Hey,
No, they
look,
corrupt down there.
just want to say something. One time I was in the store, yo. I was in Chesterfield Town Center. I met a woman looked just like me, right? Same skin tone, everything. Walked up on her. Beautiful. Yeah, I got a number there. I can't even remember. I know one thing though. I talked to my father. She like, oh, you all right? She like, oh no, I'm from Cuba. I say, what? That's like sometimes when you walk over these chicks and you talk to them about, if you don't talk to them a long time, you won't know. But if you talk to them about like 10 minutes, you'll find out these women somewhere else. So that shit do happen.
Yeah, they be from other places, but they be the main ones running because what's going on in Cuba, bro?
Shit. Everything under the sun.
Every damn thing, man. So, well, I'm Cuban. What does that matter? You're not there. How you
Oh, you
gonna
know
represent
what?
the motherfucking country
She
when
was a
you ain't even
maid
in that
too, man.
motherfucker?
She was a
Huh?
maid too.
She was who?
She was like working on maid service or some shit.
Yeah, they come do slave work, but they always want to point the finger at us being slaves, bro. No, y'all come and doing the slave work, man. You're running
Oh
from
yeah.
your hometown, your home country because there's too much corruption in the government. You probably either snitched on the motherfucker or gave some intel to knock somebody off, like a general or somebody prominent figure or some shit, and you had to escape. Yeah, man, you got exiled, motherfucker, because they was looking for your head, honey, your family. I mean, it's like that in them places, man. A lot of people Haiti, a lot of them places like that. Brazil, a lot of them places like that. And people be, El Salvador, a lot of them places. A lot of them, they know they can't go back because they will be executed, probably. You know what I'm saying? That's why they be holding on to this American shit so hard. But at the same time, they still want the ability and right to wave their flag though. They home flag. Man, what kind of shit is that?
Mm.
You abandoned it, motherfucker. You abandoned your home, bro. Yeah, it was vicious and rough out there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just, I just laughing at it because I like, I said, damn, this chick, Well, so here's Virginia. So she talking about cyberbullying. We're just going. This happened at Virginia State House. Tell you they're trying to crack down cyberbullying thing.
Well, they're not trying to crack on no cyberbullying, man.
Plaguing schools across the country, and even right here in the Commonwealth, bullying continues to be a problem in the classroom.
The seriousness of it all is recognized certainly in Virginia law, but many believe much more can be done. Henry Graff spoke with lawmakers.
Now you're gonna turn. Now see, this is the trick.
At
Once
the Virginia
again,
State House, there's
now
a
you're
swell
gonna
of
target minors,
bipartisan
bro, and turn them into criminals, bro, for bullying them, bro.
Yeah, man. Ain't that a bitch?
See what I'm saying? And anybody can lie and say you bullying them. You say the how fake sensitive they want the word. So you can't say nothing hardly without somebody saying, "Oh, you hate," that's attack. You know what I'm saying? This same thing is that LGBT stuff and that Asian hate stuff. It's the exact same thing, bro. Because it's targeting. But the Bianca always tell us that they can't target specific people, but it's always a target. Somebody's always a demographic that's targeted. Always, always, and it's always the wrong people in there, um, in the leadership positions that weaponizes these laws and stuff against other people. They wouldn't be bad if they was used for the proper uses, but you got you just say unsavory characters, man, acting unsavory
All right. Well, that's
for
that.
all American people. They like to say all Americans, but they be lying when they say all Americans.
All right, well, I got you right here.
support to combat
Yeah.
bullying inside our schools.
I think what happened a few weeks back was a tragedy. I can only imagine as a dad having one of my children lose their life in this manner and bullying, something that is 100% preventable.
Laws to address bullying in the Commonwealth date back to 2013. There are currently 10 anti-bullying laws on the books.
You really can't deal with anything until you actually define what it is. And then after that, subsequent to that, we also passed legislation that mandated that school boards have a policy in place, an anti-bullying policy in place.
Overall, state law requires local school boards to develop model policies and procedures about bullying. That includes a student code of conduct and character trait education programs. Laws also require school personnel to be trained.
First of all, why the hell is this at you're right? Why is this in the House of Representatives?
Are required
That
in place. We don't know to what extent they're enforced fully. And even when
overreach.
enforced, we don't know how effective they are.
12 on your side, checking in with local school divisions across the metro Richmond area. From Chesterfield to Henrico, Richmond to Petersburg, all school divisions are following state law and have those policies in place.
The question is, what more can be done?
Delegate Mike Jones says in New Jersey,
I know they do right
lawmakers
now.
took what we do here in Virginia one step further. School bullying in the Garden State must be reported within 1 day, and officials have 10 days to investigate. Currently, there's no timeline requirement in Virginia.
There's only
Well, they don't even have the manpower to investigate these bullying, man. You know how many people get bullied, bro?
How you raise your children.
12 on your side, legal analyst Stephen Benjamin says state lawmakers can only act on things within their purview, meaning in school system. He adds the challenge with all of this is that bullying tends to start elsewhere.
The problem is that, number one, this is putting an
Basically, look, I gotta talk about this. They trying to make laws. These teenagers that be doing carjacking a lot recently, but look, let me get
What you
real.
mean make law? They already got laws. If you get
Basically,
caught
this bullying
crooked, I
thing
thought
they've been
this
trying
supposed
to
to
do
be,
around
you
here
know what I'm
been
saying? What new laws they need to make, bro? And it's already laws
trying
and
to crack
policies
down
already
more.
in place. Huh?
They say the kids doing it so much that you might have to make new laws, bro.
New laws. That's already laws. Just enforce the ones that's already there. It's a problem.
They say they need more. But no. What they saying now that the carjacking, the teenagers carjacking, the parent accountability is lacking. So they might be trying to get to the parents now.
Yeah, they're trying to get to the parents. Dude, this is the same old play, man. So it's always going to be attack or war on somebody. When these people come in and trying to bring, we trying to create new laws and bills, but they claim we're protecting American people, but at the same time you're criminalizing American people at the same time. Because you already got policies in place, you just need to enforce them. Because they pick and choose who they. All these white kids that be bullying people, bro, sending threats and shit, and they let that go up up under the radar. You know what I'm saying? You got policies already. Yeah, what I just do? Just had it.
Here we go.
What?
They want to see more parental accountability.
Parental accountability, y'all.
Yeah.
Man, this would suck.
Teenagers who had carjacked their way through the community. Does this surprise you?
Unfortunately, no.
It was here in the 300 block of McMecken Street where their crime spree came to a screeching halt. Officers found 4 teenagers inside a stolen vehicle which had been carjacked the night before. They also found a handgun inside the vehicle. Officers arrested a 14-year-old, 2 15-year-olds, and a 16-year-old suspect. Police say 3 of the 4 juveniles have a record of auto thefts and armed robberies. They're charging the 16-year-old as an adult.
They need to make these kids pay for their crimes just like an adult got to pay that time, so should a kid.
Detectives believe the vehicle was stolen from a home in Reservoir Hill, just a few blocks away.
This is becoming an all too familiar scene. Just last week, police arrested a 14-year-old for a carjacking in Paring Parkway. Just this week, police arrested 5 other teenagers for a carjacking in Hamden. In all the cases, most of the kids are packing pistols and being monitored with ankle bracelets.
Surveillance cameras captured the teens in Hamden this week, who police say attacked a woman, stole her car keys, and drove away. 3 of the 5 teens were wearing ankle bracelets and being monitored by the state.
When you have a violent armed robber
caught and then put back out onto the streets. Again, what that says to the community is we don't care. We don't care about you. We don't care about your safety. We don't care about your property.
In Bolton Hill today, few people seemed surprised by the armed teenagers who had carjacked their way through the community. Does this surprise you?
Yeah. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Shit just got here, man. Damn, my bad. I was in the gym talking to motherfuckers and shit. I didn't even see notification. I didn't even pay attention to Facebook. My bad, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, talking about cracking down these parents, these kids killing these. I mean, not killing, carjacking. Excuse me. Yeah.
Why they act like these are new issues, man? Motherfuckers been doing that shit since when I was growing up, and before that, motherfuckers been stealing cars. Like, why they? I mean, it's not a good thing, hell no. But it's like, what? Like, why they act like these are new issues? Like, boy, I tell you, this shit is.
But if you already got policies in place,
wait, man, everything's escapable. Blame this motherfucker. That makes sense. If I'm the known accountability race, I'm gonna blame everybody else too.
if you got policies already in place, man, they catch and release. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about? Oh, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, they already got policies in place. You catching them, man, when they on they on ankle monitors and still out there carjacking and commit crimes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Putting them back, and you putting them back in the communities. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. You know what I think?
I don't know. I don't know what to do because it's almost like the government created these criminals.
Create this shit.
I don't know. Now you got the cat is out the bag. You can't put the mud back in there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You created these desolate red line districts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Counties and stuff. You know what I'm saying? City limits and stuff. You know, no opportunities. You know, education, like you said, is low, lackluster, below. You know what I'm saying? Below average academic. You know, and no activities and stuff. Like they took a lot of activities out of these cities and stuff. Nope.
Same
you know
old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7.
A lot of these cities.
Let's just say my boobs were closer to my pants than my chin. Most women think you need underwire to get real support, but here's the reality: over 80% of the inflation report for the month of June.
But at the same time, they're giving these allocation shit to these damn immigrants and giving them the resources. You know what I'm saying? Just like this is over here.
Before you came on, we talked about the Dignity Act. There's a Republican woman from Miami. Her name is Maria Salazar. That she came on the news today. She was just talking about, giving certain immigrants legal status is not amnesty or something. But they got some like 9 Republicans in the House that's backing this. So it's called the Dignity Act. Now they already got the Take It Down Act passed.
What is that going to do?
It's going to give immigrants legal status. I just told you what it's going to do.
No, I thought you.
Well, tell him her background.
Oh, she's a daughter of Cuban exile. She's from Little Havana, and she went to Harvard, Miami-Dade, and it's one other school I forgot. University of Miami.
Karen Bass has a similar background in that. Karen Bass was in Cuba, and she was down with the communists in Cuba, bro. Why would you elect somebody you knew was a communist? But see, America doesn't. That communist shit is another scapegoat because this is kind of like low-key communism. Look how these all these fucking cameras and shit, all this fucking surveillance and monitoring.
I'm gonna tell you some wild shit today. I saw today when I was on the highway today before it started flooding again. By the way, it was supposed to rain about 4 more days straight.
Isn't it summertime?
Yeah, man, been flooding every day. When I first started, I showed Chak Petersburg. They got 4 to 8 inches of rain last night. Then it rained again today, so they probably got 10 now, right? Up the street, motherfucker was swimming in puddles on the outside neighborhood out here going up the street. I said, I ain't going to the neighborhood. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go up the street with Midlothian where the cars at and that flooding. All these back roads and shit being getting flooded like a bitch. I told you last night when I got off, it was about to rain again. But look, Yeah, man, I just started coming down today about 3 o'clock. But what I was saying, I was talking about her. She also put the Take It Down Act on, which that is about cyberbullying. So, you know, basically, stop these kids from talking threats online. Criminalize them.
You're right, because Tether, the T word. If you say that word, they could get your channel. My bad. The thoughts and opinions of me does not reflect this channel. The thoughts and opinions of Frank
take this shit
Hey,
down.
so
Take this shit down. You want? Fuck it, man.
so immigrants come in and they get the benefits because these are all temporary. These are the TPS people, temporary status motherfuckers. Some asylum seekers, and they get way better status and benefits than the damn American people that's been working. All families from families that's been working and then lost land and then lost bank accounts, savings accounts, and stuff. They got their stuff taken from the IRS. IRS came and took you, said you owe them this. Oh, you owe tax, back tax. She talking about, yeah, we tax, but you ain't pay no damn tax, you lying ass heifer.
Why, bro?
Hell yeah.
What tax money you pay tax money on going to Harvard? Really? I need to see that. I need to see that. There ain't no damn asylum seeker paying no damn taxes. You think they paying taxes? You really think they paying taxes, man?
Well, let me. Well,
Come
look,
on, bro. They think we stupid, man. They still think we stupid.
Cause somebody paying. Hey, let me play this before I get off here. Cause somebody paying something here. Listen to this.
I mean, just in the last hour, it shows inflation is up, but just about in line with expectations. A look at some of the numbers now. Prices up 2.7% last month compared to June of last year. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer joining us now with more on this. Brooke, what else are we seeing in this latest report?
Well, Marnie, some economists say this report is more or less in line with what we expected. Prices have seen a modest bump. Inflation accelerated in June. The consumer price index rose to 2.7%. That is up from 2.4 in May. Inflation last month now at its highest level in 4 months as the cost of gas, food, and groceries increased. Core inflation, excluding volatile food and energy costs, also shifted higher, up 2.9% annually. That's up 0.1%, but still slightly lower than what we expected to see in this report. Economists.
Case in point, the electric bills for certain people in Virginia, not me, but for certain people in Virginia, people are having electric bills as high as 500, 500, 300, XYZ. And to actually tell you the truth, even though you don't have power outages, and I told you they had that sewage leak. Remember, they had 2 sewage leaks. One of them in Chris Brown town, Tappahannock or Essex County, whatever. Yesterday they had another, I think, power plant or something went offline or some shit. But yeah, but I'm like, well, y'all having all these problems with stuff. Well, then the price need to come down because my life's out for 10 hours, 12 hours. I didn't have my bills. They're not me, but I'm talking about people in general. But kind of crazy, right?
Had told us that they were going to be looking closely at the prices of goods like cars and clothes, because that could give us some more clues on how President Trump's tariffs are really impacting the U.S. economy. The index for new cars fell 0.3% over the month, but the apparel index increased 0.4% in June. And this is what some economists have said is really the big story here. Apparel, things that are more subject to those tariffs. If prices based on importing from other countries increased, this is really where you would see it. Now, most companies have been able to absorb the costs associated with tariffs. They've been stockpiling inventory, hoping to avoid raising prices. But that buffer, of course, will only last so long. Wells Fargo, for one, expects the price of core goods to keep going up through the second half of the year. Marnie?
Brooke, what does the June inflation data tell us about the Fed's next move?
Well, Fed Chair Jerome Powell, as we've reported, is really in no rush to cut interest rates. And we expect him, Marnie, to continue to take that same wait and see stance at the central bank's next meeting later this month. despite public pressure and criticism, as we have heard from President Trump himself, who even just yesterday called the Fed chair stupid for not yet lowering interest rates. The Fed, as we know, is targeting 2% annualized inflation before lowering interest rates. Again, those new numbers just in this morning are at 2.7. So those interest rates are expected to hold steady for now. But some investors anticipate we could see a cut in September. So we'll have to wait and see. Marnie?
All right, Brooke, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now.
Fuck that, man. That shit, I don't want to give a fuck about data. Is this the same database that says that black people commit fucking 50% of crimes? I don't want to. When I go to the motherfucking store, that's when I see this shit. When I buy some shit, that's when I see it. These motherfuckers tax you for anything. Nigga, they tax you for motherfucking. They're about to start taxing for breathing air pretty soon. These motherfuckers, man, this is ridiculous, man. If that's the case, nigga, we need stimulus checks now, and all these fake fucking postings about, oh, there's gonna be a stimulus check next week. All this fake fucking, nigga, you got ghost jobs, ghost stimulus check, ghost texting, ghost motherfucking you know what I'm saying? Damn, bro. This is honestly, I see what this system is starting to make everything an algorithm and make everything spamming and scamming, bro. Where are they getting this information from, bro? Because when I go to the store, I just went to the motherfucking store. Walmart, guess what? Walmart went up on their prices, not because of tariff, because they felt like it. Why are we not talking about that? And, oh, boycott this and that. And then motherfucking stupid ass, dumbass Democrat motherfuckers talk about, oh, boycott. Fuck all that boycott shit. Make your own, motherfucker. Let's put in a pot. Let's put money in a pot and make our own fucking shit, bro. Keeping you relying on these motherfuckers. Oh, these motherfuckers, white supremacists, racist motherfuckers. Oh, meanwhile, let's go boycott the store because they're racist and they're meanies. Dumb motherfuckers, bro. Docile shit. But I'm sorry. But see, I got to do more research on this. I know a little bit more tax and shit, but I got to start doing more. I got to do a little bit more research on this. The inflation and shit like that, and shit like that, because he called them stupid and all that shit. These motherfuckers, dude. It's funny when black motherfuckers do something. It's where everybody, and especially us, go in on it. Oh, this motherfucker mature, he ghetto. But when a white motherfucker do something, we laugh at it. Yeah, he's so funny, he's so charismatic. I don't know, dude. But my bad, to get off topic. Like I said, I don't care about stats. I don't care about numbers. I see this shit when I go to the store. We all see this shit when we go to these stores. Am I right?
Yeah, you see it.
Maybe in September. It's like, fuck all that, bro. Bringing this shit. That's how you know it's fake. It's fake, just like Elon Musk and Trump beef. It's fake.
Oh, speaking of that, I'm glad you said Elon Musk. Thanks for reminding me. Because it was a dude.
Now him and the Fed. And you know, every time Trump in there, he's always getting into it with somebody. Like they always got that scenario. Oh, yeah, it's fucking beef with Trump now. He's beefing with him. Like he's such an alpha fucking, like he's such a big badass. This shit is it's political theory, bro. It's political theory.
Let me say something. Hold on. Right. Hold on a minute. Hold on. You know what? I was on the highway today.
Angus, bro. Man.
Hey, yo. Hey,
always
look,
got a problem
I was
with
on the highway today, right? And the guy in front of me with a Tesla. They said, fuck Elon. I mean, he driving a Tesla in front of him. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? He had a Tesla and said, fuck Elon, right? But I'm like, that was kind of dumb. But then I looked at his license plate, and under that it said University of California, Los Angeles alumni. And I've been telling people, a lot of people in California have been moving here to Virginia, bro. So
I think that's all that goddamn rain and all that shit. If I get out of here,
hey yo, I told you, I let them white boys move downtown by the James River. That's where all the flooding and shit have a lot of water.
Man,
they can have that shit. They can pay $2,000 a month on rent if they want to too. Yeah, I will be okay.
But numbers don't mean shit, bro. And unless you put them to work, and they put these motherfuckers to work with the propaganda, bro. They hella putting these numbers to work with the propaganda. It's like, come on, man. Just like with the Diddy shit. You might want to, you know what I'm saying, do something before you get off with that. Now these motherfuckers, my bad to try to get off topic. I can talk about this after you finish this, you know. But the Diddy shit, now they try to say, we've been talking about this for a fucking longest time in the fucking ever. We've been saying that that Mann Act does not apply to him, bro. He was not forcibly bringing these motherfuckers across state line. We've been saying that. I'm not no motherfucking lawyer. I'm no motherfucking attorney, but I got common sense to know that shit. That's just like when you take assessment for a job. A lot of times that shit's not hard fucking rocket science questions. A lot of it's common sense. Fucking DMV, when you take your fucking test for the DMV, common sense. This is common sense, bro. It does not work like that. But see, I think something's not right with this case, bro. Something's not right with that case because you don't. And then why are we not asking? Why is the lawyers not asking for no kind of appeal? Why are they not trying to ask for a retrial? What's going on, bro? You can't hit you with no Mann Act, and then that's why they knocked the what's name off. That's why they knocked the what's name off the RICO. You can't get no one motherfucker with no RICO.
They're writing case law. They're creating case law in our face.
Creating as they go, exactly, bro.
He's the what's the name? Conduit.
Yep. So they could do it to the next motherfucker.
Then it's conduit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. They could do it to the next motherfucker.
Yeah.
A real actual case, they could do it to you, and they'll do it to a black motherfucker in a real case. Makes sense.
Well, because I'm just saying, your boy just got won his appeal. I told you at the same time.
Harvey Weinstein.
Who?
Harvey Weinstein.
I don't know. Why?
Yeah, you said I thought you was Harvey. Remember Harvey Weinstein? Didn't he win his appeal? Remember we were talking about this other day? We were talking about how Harvey Weinstein won that appeal. Remember? That's why he was in court.
You mean it on both sides? What do you mean? You ain't know that?
What happened? Yeah, no, I thought you was talking about Harvey Weinstein.
We offer overnight.
You're talking about somebody else right now. I thought you were talking about how Harvey Weinstein won his shit. But nobody's talking about that though. The media is not going to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because see, that's going to go with our narrative. The media talks about that. That's going to go with our narrative. The shit is not fair. You know what I'm saying? This dude right here, man. He's like the Vlad TV of fucking
the dude right here?
Court shows, bro. Yeah, he's full of shit. He's full of shit. They run a lot of racist narratives toward black people too on the show. Trust me.
Come right here, TMZ.
And then I could hide that I'm a Creed person. No, shut up, because I could hide behind me being a Creed person. What are you talking about racism? What are you talking about sexism?
We have not fully confirmed this. We are hearing that Diddy is enrolled in a domestic violence and drug treatment program, two separate ones, while behind bars. This is a common program offered to most all inmates. We have not been able to confirm. We're getting some conflicting information on it, but we are hearing that he is participating in those two programs. To me, and by the way, for two reasons. One, he clearly needs help. I think we heard that from the trial. Whichever way you come out, he needs help, and that's clear. And the second reason is that he's going to be sentenced. And one of the things judges look at is, is this person rehabilitated or trying to rehabilitate themselves? So you could argue the rehabilitation should be don't hire prostitutes, because that's all he was convicted of. And so it's not so much the domestic violence and everything else, because he was never tried for that. And when it came to, using force or coercion,
but see, that's how you know that she should be thrown out from the beginning.
He was found not guilty. So when you think about it, what is the point of alcohol, drug treatment, and anything else if he wasn't really found guilty of that? He was found guilty of hiring prostitutes and sending them across state lines. But optics matter. And there was testimony about his violence. So I think if he's doing this, which we're hearing he is, it's probably a good idea. Now, the second thing is the judge asked the prosecution to come up with a list of cases where the Mann Act was used, but the John was prosecuted and sent to jail. And I am hearing from some people inside this case that prosecutors may have trouble coming up with that list because typically it's not the Johns that are prosecuted under the Mann Act. And that makes this very, very interesting in terms of sentencing. That if, yeah, he was convicted, but they can't find any other cases where the Johns face serious jail time, the defense is going to say, this is selective prosecution. You're singling out one guy and throwing the book at him when that's not the way the legal system has worked in the past. It's up to prosecutors to come up with that list, and they may not be able to. And that's going to be really interesting in October when Diddy is sentenced. Now, look, he could get 10 years. That is not going to happen. He's not going to get 5 years. Even prosecutors are saying 4, but he's not going to get 4. I think he is going to get between 1 and 2 years. And if they can't come up with that list, it's going to be in the lower end. And remember, by October, he'll have already served a year. And so I know this sounds kind of crazy, but depending on what happens, Diddy could be out by Christmas. And I think that's a real possibility. This is not a serious.
They don't have the same energy when it's a white motherfucker, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's like coming out for Christmas. Like, it's a bad. It's a nightmare. He's gonna come out for Christmas, dude. Like,
where Johns had significant jail time or prison time, I just don't see it. So, could he be out by Christmas? I think he could. Could he be out by
felonious charges
Thanksgiving?
anyway, man. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to clean up the prosecution's shit that they started. You know what I'm saying? They should have been. They should have been when the defense. You know the defense. They put papers in. They put documents in for moves of dismissal and what is called something about the trial. What's the name of it, Frank?
You talking about deposition?
What's the word? Who?
Deposition?
No, it's something they call it when it's like a damn it, what's the name? What's the name, Bernard? Damn.
What?
It's called
discovery.
No, it's something when you basically saying that this case is bull BS and it should be thrown out. It should be vacated. I forgot the name they used.
Dismissal?
It's dismissal, but it's another name they call it. It's called
conflict of interest, bro.
What's the other name they use?
I try to see. When you do it, I'm gonna show y'all something in closing. I couldn't find this shit last night, Frank, but I went through my file cabinet and I found them. I found the pictures, Frank.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, man.
I think ground for mistrial.
Grounds for mistrial.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's what I was just saying.
And he denied it. He denied him bail. You denied this man. Now you had no previous. See, how do you allow a prosecution? See, this is bullshit. How you even allow a prosecution to build a case off? You just said now that it's over. That's no case. That's no case law for this particular charges because how they charged them is weird. How they charged them anyway, and it's weird how the judge gave the rules for the jury to rule on. See, that's key. See, people don't be understanding how these juries go. All that evidence can be submitted. You might not have privy to everything, every piece of evidence being submitted, but the jury do. And then the judge got the ultimate say-so to say if that specific 1 or 2 pieces, whatever, testimonies can be ruled as circumstantial or direct evidence can be used. The jury can use that. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't really justice per se because the judge got the ultimate say whether he want that evidence to be admitted or not. Whether it can help or it can hurt. It shouldn't matter because if it's evidence, it's evidence. Let the jury decide that. And a lot of this time, the jury was deciding that, and it seemed like the judge was trying to step in and trying to make some, you know, make some arrangements, trying to make the shit, kind of, you know what I mean? Because first of all, he's a second-year jury judge. So yes, he's gonna go by the book. And this is nothing but, like I said, a political attack on a man, an American businessman, mogul, because this is nothing but what they call it.
Witch hunt.
This is how these people get their
Railroad.
beans. Yeah, they railroad, but this is how they get their name, make their name off of it. Because this dude is like a second-year judge or something. This is an all-female, white, so-called female prosecution team. Now, this funny that Diddy had more diversity on his own. Now, what's that tell you? That there should have been grounds of dismissal. Dismissal. But luckily, they picked some pretty good jurors because the jurors, you can look up the jurors. The jurors were very diverse as far as their profession. They were very professional. It's like I think they was anywhere from 30, what they were like 35 to 65 or 25 to 65 or some shit like that. So a lot of them that they finally picked was older, and they weren't just no shabby people. They had a scientists or some shit there. They had some really established people that was on the jury. You see what I'm saying? Right. So you couldn't just all that fake overselling theatrical stuff that the prosecution like to do. That jury didn't buy it. Didn't buy it, right? They didn't buy it. They was like, let us see this. Let us see this evidence on this side. Blah 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 blah. Let us see this. Let's go back. Let us see this testimony.
Mm-hmm. See, that's good. But that's good. But at the same time, it's like that. So they hit him with the, they still hit him with the Mann Act. But it's just like, weren't there male prostitutes? I thought there was a male I mean, I guess that's
what I'm saying. If it was a male, hold on. If it was a male prostitute, male, what they consider escort. Now this dude worked for an escort service. He was a male entertainer / escort, right?
Yeah.
Now, if Cassie and Diddy is the couple, if they are requiring the service of this entertainer, which at that point is legal, right? From my knowledge, it's entertainment. Now, the moment she wanted to have sex with him and then pay him for the sex, where's the problem. So why wasn't she charged for sex trafficking or soliciting a prostitute? Because he's a male prostitute at this point. And now she's put herself in a female prostitute position. So they took her word as being the one that's being coerced and prostituted over the two men that was actually being coerced to do this freak off. Where they do that at, Frank?
Let me bring this up right quick. Before I
They
get out of here.
effed themselves on this one. And they exposed their hands. Big time. But, it is what it is.
All right, let me show y'all this right quick. Kind of funny. Hey Frank, thanks for let me find this thing.
Hold on. Before you play it, is it a clip?
You got a bandana?
No, I'm not playing nothing else. I'm about to get out of here.
Oh, I thought you were gonna play. You good? Oh man, yeah, bro. Hold on, you got what? Let me see. Hold on, bro. You gotta play the clip.
What clip?
You gotta play the clip. Your girl getting cooked.
Who you talking about?
Who?
Karen Bass?
No, the fraud.
Who?
She get cooked. Paul Pierce, man, cooked her ass.
Oh, you talking about what's her name?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I get that nothing, David. I'm like,
damn, are you serious, bro?
I just,
Man, look here.
I didn't know about this shit, man.
Man, yeah, bro.
Look, this is what I was talking about. Yesterday, me and Frank is on, and I was telling him, that my mom, would have been 68 years old yesterday. And I said, I had to find these pictures and shit. Like, I just a picture of my mom and shit when I was in Chuck E. Cheese and shit. Matter of fact, I'm about to go get them back out the file cabinet and show you them Chak since you weren't on here, right? And I was saying, mom was 68 years old, right? And I was thanking her for, helping me out, and always just put me on my way to, put things on my mind. So I said, I gotta go find these pictures. That's the young me when I was at, living on Malopian Turnpike.
You got a bandana on right there?
Yeah, man.
Here you go.
Do-rag. Yeah, man.
Thugging right there, BJ. Thugging like a motherfucker. BJ like thugging like, man. Hey, Virginia, bro, that's not Virginia, bro.
Hey, look. Check this out.
Walking.
That's the backyard. With a dog in this picture, but that's where I broke my ribs on the basketball court, dunking on the basketball court out here, right? Right. That's these apartments are still here. This is where a lot of guys got shot at. Here they sell drugs on the corner. Guys sell drugs right here. I used to live right here, 2708. I think they got a trash can out in front of now. I rode by there this morning.
Yeah, so you lived in the project, so bro, that project living in.
Well, I didn't live in the projects, but I lived right down the street from it. Then I took the 11 blocks. But yeah, we had a lot of stuff when they tore down the Blackwell project. A lot of guys came uptown in those areas, and then we started getting a lot of things going on and stuff.
Bro,
then my two bikes I used to ride to Burr Rock all the time. We used to get my bike and ride. Mom said, "Where you go?" I'm going to play basketball with my friends at Burr Rock School. She like, and I just ride back home. That was a 5-mile bike ride. Did it almost every day. Right. So that's my grandma holding me as a kid right there.
Man, that's real, man.
That's funny shit, ain't it? Let's see. That's my dog in the backyard. You probably hardly see him. You see the big garage we used to go in.
You should put on the big screen, man.
I mean, I probably had to put it in the big screen.
Yeah, single.
Yeah, that's the backyard. Right there. We used to be in the garage. Sometimes when we got older, sometimes we even took the girls in the garage and shit. Right?
Man, you're alive, man.
Right. That's the front of the house. It's not yellow anymore. 2708 Malopian Turnpike. Spent 20 years of my life there.
Was that snow right there on the ground or not?
Yeah, it was snow.
Damn, bro.
And that's
man.
That's I think that this is my aunt's Ford Temple. My aunt that I was telling you about that looked out for me. Like, matter of fact, I called her sister today. She's in rehab right now. She's 87 years old, but she's in rehab today. So hopefully she gets well. But she's been having some problem with her legs and stuff for a while. But I called her today. She's in the hospital. Oh, Chak, you didn't see the picture of last night, so hold tight. Let me get the other one.
Yeah, man.
I got hey, let me get the other one.
Memories now. I kind of wish my mom took. I actually got some pictures, man. I know we had a picture book, man, but I think one of my family members that had the picture book, we end up getting some pictures that we have that I got right now from that picture book that somebody had. So. Yeah, man. The memories,
hey, yo, as a matter of fact, you actually didn't have a bandana. I had do-rags, but I had braids, man, one time, man. Shit. The fuck? I told you I had braids one time. That's my mom right there. There's a little girl right there.
You got them boondocks.
Man, she rest in peace, man. That's real, man.
Hey, Chak. That's me again, right there. Little kid, little boy. Right there.
Here we go.
Bad as hell. As you got them minutes.
Yeah.
Man, you know you was a mug, man. You know when he was growing up, he was no joke.
Let me see if I can find this one. I don't know. That's somebody. That's the other kid.
BJ was bad as a motherfucker when he was growing up.
Damn.
Oh,
I just had him check his sheet. Oh yeah. That's my mom right there. We was all at Chuck E. Cheese and stuff. They used to always take us to Chuck E. Cheese, little kids and stuff like that.
Bruh.
Go up,
Hey, Bernard, I stole the balls from Chuck E. Cheese. You know the balls you do? I stole the balls.
Yep. I mean, hey, man. But so it's kind of funny when you really look at it, right? Because that's why I was laughing at Frank. He's like, I had a bandana. Yeah, bandana, do rags, whatever, man.
Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I used to have braids and shit. What they call it? Them twists. I used to go to school, believe it or not. My mom was like, she's like, you want a necklace? I said, yeah, let me get a necklace.
You had the
like,
finger waves?
Huh?
You had the finger waves?
Yeah, I ain't do too good with them though.
I had the popcorn. What y'all know about the popcorns? You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
I used to have the shit. You know what I'm saying? To where like doing in High School High, like the Harris. You remember that movie High School High? The nigga had the popcorn. It's like rubber bands and shit. You just basically put like little bitty Afro puffs and rubber bands.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's right. I'm gonna give you a little snippet of this, and y'all gonna laugh your ass off. But I gotta think. See, I told people because in about 2 hours on the East Coast. Well, actually, an hour and 15 minutes, I'll be 38 years old, right? Right? So.
Oh, that's right. You got a birthday. Wait, hold on. Today the 15th?
Yeah, tomorrow 16th. Yeah. So.
Damn.
So yours is on the 6th. Your birthday's on the 16th, just like mine's is, bro. That's crazy, bro. My pops' birthday's on the 16th.
And Mom's on the 14th.
Well, not this month, but you know.
Mom went labor on July 14th, 1987 birthday. Had me 9:30 at Chipman Hospital in Richmond, Virginia on July 16, 1987. Right? But like I was telling my buddy said, man, your mom died, how you gonna deal with this? I said, this is exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna show you something. This is how I got connected to all you guys. I want y'all to hear this. This is gonna be interesting. Y'all ain't play a minute, but I'm gonna let you hear it.
All right. So what made you start DJing?
We wanted to try something different, let people go out and have a good time and stuff, do something positive, cookouts, events, whatever they want to listen to, you call me. We can set up something, buying time. Also wanting to reach out to people from a different atmosphere. What I normally do, I talk to people, but also want to enlighten people. Out the scene, talk about history or talk about some knowledge. I think one of the biggest things that we lack as Black people is a lack of knowledge itself. I mean, we can listen to music and have a good time. We can listen to lyrics and songs and have a good time. But, I mean, we got to get back to the basics and realize that we're not bitches and niggas. We're kings and queens and rulers. So that's what guys. So my buddy, he asked me in my house. He just said, what you can do about this shit, bro? So I like, how you can do it? He was like, because you don't seem depressed at all. I said, bro, Trey, life go on. And I just hurt my Achilles 5 days I'm gonna die. So I was playing basketball today. A dude telling me here, I strained my Achilles. I couldn't walk. I couldn't hardly walk in the damn funeral. Shit, right? And he was like, "How you gonna get over this?" I said, "I got to do something different. But I got to think outside the box. I got to keep myself busy around the clock, or at least people calling me around the clock just to figure this shit out. So in that way." Like I said, maybe my birthday, maybe more on Death Day, I'm gonna be dead on with you, bro. People always ask why you're on graveyard. I said I don't even want to go back to that motherfucker. Look, that was the one thing because my aunt died the very next day, April 5th. So we buried them both at the same time. I don't need to go back over there. That was her sister, so they died both at the same time. And within 24 hours. Yeah. So I kind of like, a lot of people. I'm not gonna say they were coming around me. And they was like, why aren't you here? Why aren't you there? Why are you moving around so much? I said, well, I was moving around anyway. But it just made it easy for me. And then DJing, like I was saying in the video, that it made me able to reach out to people from different perspectives and actually meet a lot of people, travel, so that, like I said, I'll be traveling a couple of days again. So sometimes people be saying, damn, man, you're all over the place. Well, yeah, because that was my way of figuring out, hey, look, you don't have your mom anymore. And your dad, he's 86. And actually, tell you the truth, I think his street was flooded today as well. So you might as well, in the time to keep your mind off that, you might as well just keep living, but develop all the circle you can, because you're going to need people in the end. And for the most part, the majority of my circle is 3. Some of them have been knowing 3, 14, but everybody that usually around me is more tight-knit. I don't really usually have a lot of new people coming in. So I always had to make sure that I always had guys around. I was even telling Chak the other day that you saw me with the bandana on. I used to be with a lot of guys that did some wild shit. I mean, some of them that around me, right? You say, but they would say to me, "Hey, yo, like, you know, like guys in the social, but even these, like, you know, certain things," and they were like, "You're a little bit too smart to." We wouldn't want you to dibble and dabble in this shit full time. So we don't really even want you to, you know, because one guy, he always told me, this was, I forget this guy's name, but he used to be out there in the corner. He said, because he said one day, he got the wrong guy, but he said, one day you're going to be the guy from Southside Richmond that probably saved us all. I said, no, I ain't going to be that. But that's like some Jesus type shit. But now, but at the same time, I do thank him for looking out for me. He's been locked up for quite some time now, but he did look out for me as a kid. And a lot of those other guys that were out me on the block, out there, stuff like that. You know, we had one of them get killed at James Food Store. Another one, he's serving life in prison, killing somebody. And some of them went to jail for 5, 10 years and stuff like that. So on my own personal tip, you know, I didn't really want to see that. That's why I said when they come to me and tell me about these killings and stuff, I'm like, bruh, I grew up in Southside Richmond, bro. I saw this shit every day. It's my oldest, the worst it's been. And is it what's going on in Richmond? The shit, we had 990 some killings in the 1990s, bro. Like when they had all these projects going down, we had a lot of killings, bro. And this ain't city. Outside surrounding counties actually got way more people, but you got 233,000 more, actually probably more now because they've been all these damn apartments. There where you go look at them apartments. But it's a nice sized city, but you've had a lot of killings over there. They got a lot of gentrification going on, but like I said, those projects, Hillside is still up. Fairfield Court is still up. Mosby is still up. Creighton is up in the backside, but they're building new developments. So like I said, when they talk about these killings, I saw this shit every day. So it's not like, to me, hey, look, my buddy just called me the other day. He said, B, man, I went to Newport News, man, Saturday night, man. I got my car, but they stole my gun out of my car. They told me my buddy's gun out of the car and shit. He was like, yo, what the fuck? I said, bro, just to be honest with you, never leave it under the seat or nothing like that, because they get you. As a matter of fact, he said he parked behind a U-Haul. I'm like, you parked behind a U-Haul, you get to that club out there at 12 o'clock at night, bro, and you're not there. He was like, well, the police didn't do it. I think he said, bro, the police is just there working overtime security club. They're not going to do nothing. Right there before it. That's it. But it might mean the only thing that happened if they kill somebody with your gun, that's why you didn't find them. But at the same time, you know, but it is what it is. But that's why I tell people. So, like I said, I mean, you know, like the guy asked me, well, he was like, what are you doing for your birthday? I said, I don't really worry about that. I say, but I tell you what I will do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back where it all started. Summer camp tomorrow morning, 9:30, 10 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to go back where it all started. See, thing for me is always going back where they say, why you go here? I say, well, I grew up right there. You know, so I always try to go back where it all started and try to help some people that helped me along the way. Because I ain't telling, like, I used to do wild shit. I used to throw lotion on motherfuckers' car, throw eggs on motherfuckers' car. I used to do some wild shit.
Dang.
Matter of fact, the guy came to my mom. He said, look, I ain't gonna kill your son, but them homeboys he hanging with, the ones that threw the eggs in my car, he said, I'm gonna shoot them niggas if I catch them. He said, I ain't gonna shoot Bernard, that's your son, but I'm gonna shoot them. So you better tell him to stop doing that shit. And he was like, why? I said, why you up at night? Oh, he got prostate problems or something. That's why he be up at night. But he said, you better stop shooting. You better stop throwing eggs and lotion on his car all the time. And she like, why the hell you taking my damn lotion throwing them? I said, we just playing prank on his ass. I said, we don't like him. He a neighborhood snitch anyway, so we don't like him too. That's why I said, fuck him.
Kids is something else, boy.
Huh?
Yeah, I say that's how it used to be, bro. Like, always be that motherfucker. You know, the neighborhood kids didn't like and shit, man. It always be like that. Man.
So, like, I mean, you know, and that's why I always laugh. You know, like, not to be according to one of my girlfriends or whatever you want to call it, you know, friends or whatever. You know, I mean, I got called bougie by a chick last week because I was eating avocado. I said, damn, why is that bougie avocado? What the fuck is that? Bougie? What are you crazy?
Bro, how you equate that to me? Damn, that's some weird shit.
But yeah, I like, damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, they
you be eating a goddamn bacon sandwich, nigga. Fat bag in the morning, fat back sandwich in the morning, nigga.
You know
Mayo
what?
on it.
It's crazy though. Let me say this before I go. I'm gonna let y'all close out in a minute. But it's crazy though, because like I said, my uncle, I tell you, my uncle used to work with Missy Elliott Mama. I mean, he used to come get me and used to feed me spinach, beets, greens. He might cook some potatoes or something like that. So, like I said, I never really was eating that stuff anyway. I mean, you might have some bacon every now and then.
Man, you was eating spinach and beets as a child, bro.
Yeah, man, you have eating that stuff, bro.
Man, that shit would sit on my plate, nigga. I'd be sitting there crying with not running down my nerve. I'd be the last nigga at the table, right? That shit be still sitting on that goddamn plate.
Man, yeah, I didn't want to eat that like you too, but that was real. That was good looking out though. How he was giving, you know what I mean? That was good looking out though.
I mean, but now I eat that spinach and like you said, beets and green beans. Boy, I used to hate to eat damn green beans, man.
And I had to ask that. And I asked my mom one day. I asked my mom and dad one day. Both of them used to smoke cigarettes. I said, "Why y'all smoke cigarettes?" My uncle said it's bad for y'all. They stopped smoking cigarettes. But that was it.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that I'm not trying to be funny, but like, so where I grew up at did not define me, because a lot of people, you know, when they grew up, you know, like Shaq was just saying, he grew up, he couldn't stand eating that stuff. That's what I was eating. I mean, you know, like now, when I was 6 years old, I think I had a doctor named Dr. Taylor, and he you know, he told my mom, you know, this kid is an energy bunny. He's real hype. He doesn't want to sit down. You know, when I give him a reflex, he jumps. So he said, you need to put him on Ritalin or whatever. And I think it was about a week. And she was like, my son's not. She said, my son, you know, he like eating spinach and things like that, but he ain't eating that at all. You know, she was like, he just going to sleep all the time or some shit or whatever, you know, and it's making him real miserable. Took me off it. And just let me be for the most part, right? Then at 14 years old, grandma died, so mom stopped working at night. She started working in the day. That's when a lot of the shit started, you know, because instead of, you know, you would go home from school, you know, she come pick you up. You hanging out with the boys in the neighborhood. So that was a little different. And then I had left private school and started going to public school as well. So, but, you know, like I said, it was very interesting. But like I told the guy said the other day, he was talking to me at the basketball court. He said, one thing I got to give Bernard. He said, I've been knowing motherfucker 14 years old. He said, this motherfucker looked the same, talk the same, act the same, walk the same. He looked the same way he did as a kid. He said the man always had an older soul. And he said, and I shouldn't really put this on here. He said, but this was his word, not mine. He said, matter of fact, that motherfucker was fucking a whole lot of bitches then too. That's what he said. That ain't me saying that. That's him. But he said, I gotta thank him though, because he the one to hook me up with my girl. So he's like, I gotta give him credit, man. He said, man, always looked out for me. And he was like, that's why he said, if I look out for him, he was like, hey, look, he's like, that's my, he said, so, you know, when you see him, he like, He said the motherfucker ain't nothing but 142 pounds, but he said that's why they got me backing him up as a security guy. So it's kind of funny. I said, yeah. And and the guy said, what the hell you need to back him up for? And then he said, that motherfucker seemed to be pretty straight to me. He's like, yeah, you don't want to get to that type of, we don't want to have it come to those type of levels. So let's just keep stopping at the door. But, we were just talking. So, yeah, it was interesting. So, but I had to go back and find them pictures, Frank. So thanks for reminding me last night to get them pictures. Because I said, let me go find these other pictures and stuff like that. So I just want to say this to people in Southside Richmond, actually Northside, actually all of Richmond, because the people from Richmond know me. I didn't really have that problem with all that set popping stuff. Or you from Southside, you from Northside, you from West End, you from East End. I ain't really had them type of issues. So a lot of people always, they let me be who I was for the most part. Some of the girls don't like that too much, but that's how it is. Like I always tell people gonna love me, people gonna hate me, but at the same time, like my boy said, at least he let you know what it is. I mean, hey, look, he said he always look up things. He always go look it up, and if he finds something you want to know, he gonna tell you. He said that's the thing that people have always. And he said the only problem is people get mad at Bernard because he will call you at 5:30 in the morning if he got something to say to you. But at the same time, he was like, at least I'd rather have somebody call me at 5:30 in the morning, making sure I'm straight, than, because he I could be dead. So he call me brother. I mean, shit, Frank, you be 2:30 in the morning. That's why I made that call. But most of my calls start at 5:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock. So you can ask Chak that himself. Chak can tell you that's when most of my calls start anyway.
But see, I think why you said people wasn't
something like that or do whatever, but that's the majority of my calls start because.
So you said cats wasn't doing all that, because they real recognize real, they see the potential in you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They see the potential in you, and they seen there was something in you.
They made sure they put it away. They made sure that I didn't get into it. I had to talk about this offline because this is a little bit more drastic on some things. When you start talking about chemical compounds and stuff like that, you know what I'm talking about. But really say that, but that's how I tell people. Let's use the word chemical compounds in closing. Look, that's why I always tell you when the government tell you that they don't know nothing about drugs, how they don't know it. If I know the chemical compounds, I know they know it.
And just like I was saying last night on the show, so the government controls the resources, right? So a drug addict or somebody dependent on drugs would consider drugs a resource. So you mean to tell me, since a drug is a resource for a lot of people, you mean to tell me that the government doesn't control that resource? Come on now.
I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna throw one of them out there. One chemical compound. It's called tramadol. That's what they use to cut the coke with.
Oh, got you.
Just give you one example. Just put it out there. Or they use it because of one of my guys he got locked up for. But guess what? He taking the tramadol too. He was taking it to a doctor's house. The doctor called him to bring it, and they got it. Yeah. See?
Yeah, I'm telling you, stuff be authorized, bro. This drug deal and all that be authorized, bro. Just like you going on to an army base, that somebody authorized that shit, the same with that shit. That shit is authorized, man. They know that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's permitted from these people, man. These people,
man,
you know what I'm saying? They give it the okay. They're the ones providing this shit. Why you think fentanyl? They ain't talking about fentanyl no more. We gonna say shit?
They selling dope, Frank. That's straight dope, nigga. You know tramadol, nigga. That's for motherfuckers in serious pain, like 30. Bro, that's some pain. That's a muscle relaxer, nigga. That shit knock your ass out. You wake up, nigga. You don't know where you was at.
Wow.
Especially if you know what I'm saying. If you really in a lot of pain, because I think tramadol. That's another name, but I think they gave me tramadol because of that diabetes and then neuropathy shit be hitting, man, your nerve endings in your feet and shit, bro. Feel like needles sticking you, bro. Feel like feel like the veins in your legs and shit is popping out and shit, sticking you. That's bro. People with diabetes be in pain, and people with diabetes and arthritis and be in real pain, gout and stuff like that. They get them stuff like that, muscle relaxers.
tramadol and shit like that, bro. Them motherfuckers be in the house just doped up. You know what I'm saying? So imagine people getting hooked on. Matter of fact, just go back to the Diddy thing, because allegedly he ain't got hooked on, like you said, pain stuff, medication,
Oh yeah,
pain. There's a lot of people get hooked on pain shit, and then they can't afford it no more. So now they got to go to street level stuff. You know what I'm saying? So the government is the biggest drug dealer. It's facts.
It's like, but see, these same motherfuckers and these same journalists and all these motherfuckers that talk about the problem, there's never no solution to that shit. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a solution that the government bring up, it's some bullshit that will not solve the problem. It'll just make these motherfuckers profits fatter. That's all. Everything's a scapegoat with the government, man. Everything is a scapegoat. Everything is blame the others. Look the other way. Blame these motherfuckers. Don't look at me. Look at that other motherfucker right there. I am not a crook. Didn't Ronald Reagan say that? And that's exactly what he was. You know what I'm saying? Everything is lies.
What did he say?
He said I'm not a crook, and that's exactly what he was, a crook. Like, all y'all motherfuckers is crooks, man. All y'all motherfuckers have guilty conscience. All y'all motherfuckers ain't shit. That's why y'all do all that adrenochrome and all that, try to stay young and all this bullshit. That's why these actors be fucking 50, like 80, and them motherfuckers still look like they like in their 60s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You got these motherfuckers, man.
You got Beyonce out here about to be 44, looking like she about to turn 19, looking like a 19-year-old snack. How?
Did she get a BBL or something? It's like, why her like, bro?
Yeah, they begin to look. They got cosmetics. Now hold on. Somebody told me this. Somebody said,
like that.
"What's the difference between a plastic surgeon and cosmetic?"
But there you go, right there. That's being mom when it was all good.
Yeah, rest in peace, mom, man.
Yeah, that's
she definitely touched. She cared about you, man.
Yes, that's all good. So but you know what I always say, right? Let me do this. Hey, yo, let me play this song, because you know what? We just gotta do it, man. We gotta do it for my buddies. And you know, I got a lot of friends, even some friends up top. You know what? I'm gonna have to take it there. Take that down.
Oh yeah, man.
Can I take it there?
Yeah.
Let's go. They might ban me, but who gives a fuck, right?
It's all good. Man. Yeah.
Now, this is gonna tell you where I'm. So yeah, so you know, we as boys, you know, we was like 18 years old, and we was always, you know, we were riding them on my car and stuff, right? It was funny. And that's when we said we going to Georgia, man, you know. So that was, you know, my boy, they say he looked like Jesus and stuff, you know, so I dedicated to my homeboy because, you know, one time we went to the drive-thru at Wendy's and the girl said, "You look like Young Jesus." He said, "I'm Young Jesus" cousin. They gave everybody at Wendy's free donut, free chicken nuggets, and free hamburgers.
Yeah, I know y'all was like, man.
Shout out to him, man. But, you know, he always look out. He called me the other day, man. He said, "Man, y'all did not look like." He said, "BJ, you very well." He said, "Look, you better let my aunts know where you at. Cause you get back to Richmond, they gonna fuck your ass up. Cause they told you stop going out there without telling them you going somewhere. They were like, they're your mama now."
That's some real shit. That's some real.
But they look out for me and stuff like that. And you know, but actually, tell you the truth, if it wasn't for them, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even mention them because actually people you know, guys that they just know don't mention it. I guess they think they're gonna upset me, but I don't even talk about it because I say I'm able to compromise because at some people it would tear them down. Me, it made me realize that life is so much more. So when I go around buddies, you know, they ask me, do you want to come to my mom's event? I'll be like, yeah. Why not? They're like, well, you know, sometimes people don't like to come to other people's events, you know, when their mom can't go. I said, no, fuck all that. Let's go. Let's do this. Right? Like I told my buddy the other day, he was fucking with me. He said, man, thanks for doing this event for my family. I said, bro, your family great. Well, I've been only here for 40 minutes and they done booked me to do 4 more events. I told them I'm good.
Fam looking out like a motherfucker.
Right. So had a lady today call me about Sweet 16. So, like I said, sometimes I do be a road runner, and for a lot of people, it can get tedious. I even had, you know, some of your esteemed sister girls, Dawson. Well, shout out to Dawson as well. It's some of the esteemed sister girls that say they can't deal with me too much because I move around too much, and it fear that this. She says, when she told me, I'm not dating no man that wake up at 5:30 in the morning to go on no damn walk. She was like, fuck that. I said, well, why don't you go walking?
Yeah, they are the dick police. They want to be on the dick police.
Damn,
They want to police the dick.
You'll be
That's what they want to police the dick, man. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, they'll know that you have. Yeah, they already know that you have females, and then you enter the little situation and shit. They know that you got females. And then when you start, you know what I'm saying, hitting it, then they start, you know what I'm saying, especially when you start hitting it, then they start the dick police shit tough. Like, check this out.
Yeah, but they got dudes on the back burner.
But they got that, that's what I'm saying. They got dudes on the back. It's like, huh? That shit is that's some, like, you want every dude to be your, like, that's how you can never be married to a female like that. You can never be serious with a female like that because she's going to be in a relationship with you and she's going to be taking those scantily clad pictures on fucking on Instagram. Them slutty, you know what I'm saying?
While you at work.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? She probably got her OnlyFans on the side and shit.
Look back at it.
You can't be with no broad like that. She's gonna want every dude to be her fantasy, and she's gonna want you to want her to be her fantasy too. But the fantasy with numbers though, with money. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, no.
Well,
ain't no stuff.
Well, look,
what did Sugar Free say?
Can you sponsor her?
We're gonna do this because I'm gonna tell you something that. You know, like I always say, I had to tell one of them, I said, look, baby, I said, I've been waking up at 5:30 in the morning, usually for a long time or whatever, you know. I mean, hey, look, she like, I had one of them told me, she like, you know, it's kind of funny. She like, I can't date no man that's 145 pounds. She like, it's kind of tough. Yeah, it is what it is, right? She said if a chick, she said something crazy. If a chick came to beat her up, she wouldn't feel I would protect her. I said, well, you got to have a serious problem in your mind if you think I'm gonna fight a chick for you.
You just said abroad. Why would I? You can't handle your own, so you can't handle your business.
Yeah, crazy.
That sounds like a scary cat right there. Bro.
Yeah, man, crazy shit. But you know, hey, man, look, I done heard it all. Like I said, I've seen it all. Well, I ain't seen it all, but I've seen a lot of it. And you know, I look at it like, hey. So, you know, when people look at it, and you look back on things, and you know, like I said, y'all guys in your 40s, I'll be on 38, but when you're looking back on things, man,
you an old nigga.
I said to myself, I have really been through a lot of bullshit, right? But then I said, you know what? And that's why I know in this, what they call it, political climate or whatever you want to call it. And that's why, you know, I just to let you know this, I usually don't but you know, like when I be on these, you know, like I'll be on shows and stuff, you know, we be on shows. Like I said, like, you know, if you ain't really being out here and you're looking at it from a closed eye view as far as videos and what you see online, you're gonna miss the whole. The only way to do it is to be out there, and then they talk about politics. And I had to tell a guy, me personally, I mean, politics is what it is, but at the same time, I grew up on the Midlothian Turnpike, bro, in the hood. hey, the hood is politics, bro. So it is what it is.
It's true. Super politics. Man, you ain't never lied about that.
So I mean, it's really like, for me, some of this stuff is just over dramatic. Even the Diddy thing. I mean, that shit didn't really even bother me that much because I'm like, bro, I mean, that shit, like, what? I mean, that shit happens all the time, bro. I mean, I ain't even really got to talk about that shit that much because that shit happens all the time. I mean, motherfuckers, you got regular women doing this shit. They don't have to be no damn cast. Regular women doing the same shit. Right? So it is what it is. So, but like I always tell people, do not look at this stuff, because when they talk about carjacking and stuff like that, bro, motherfuckers broke in my house twice. When I was coming up, like, yo, they broke my house and stole like $1,400. Like, it happens, right? They bust my windshield out. Got robbed 3 times. That happens all the time, bro. Like, so I'm like, when you're saying this, and matter of fact, my shit won't even fucking report it but one time. I really tell you the truth. The difference in the hood, if you rob somebody, you're trying to get them back most of the time. So it's a little different. But go ahead, shout out the information, Shaq.
Yeah. Oh shit! I thought you were gonna play out good, but okay. Getting that ass ate up out that line and shit. Capping. Yeah, they capping, Frank. She from Long Beach, from y'all area out there. Capping.
You talking about what's her name?
Huh?
You talking about what's her name, right?
I know she's still making her rounds. The Bryant chick.
You said who?
The Dr. Bryant chick, man.
Oh, her.
Yeah, I know about it. Yeah, matter of fact, we get there on the yeah, I know about it.
Damn, dude, wait, dude, wait, man. Okay, I'm just down finding motherfuckers, man.
Yeah, Paul Pierce. Well, see, she went on Paul Pierce. I guess he got his own show now, like a late night podcast, The Truth After Dark or some shit, or late night or something. And she went on there and shit. And he just straight up asking her the questions. And she's like, bro, I'm from Inglewood. You can't, nigga, what's your situation? You come on here talking all this therapy shit with everybody else. What you got going on? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you talking about you been in a relationship. And she said she had the IUD. Or she just took the IUD out. You know what they did, don't you?
Yeah, I used to fuck with the bro with the IUD. It's an internal condom, like.
Right. It's like a T-bone like thing that they put up inside. It's like something to kind of block the cervix so the sperm and shit don't get through.
It's crazy.
Well, hold on though.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about old girl. Yeah, you're talking about old girl. Yeah, she's full of shit, bro.
Yeah, she wild.
She got exposed that one time. What's her name was on her? My nigga, what's her name? Corey Hogan was on her.
And he was right. Everything he said, nigga, seemed like that shit was damn right, spot on. But yeah, she was like, yeah, she took the IED out. She talking about having a baby at 42. Bro, why would you wait till you 42? You didn't get banged all up. You didn't put the IED in so you don't get pregnant. So we already know them chicks getting murdered. See? So you still let niggas shoot you up in the club while you talking about all this responsibility men supposed to be on, but you let niggas shoot your club up. Right? So she took the IED out because she planning on getting pregnant this year. Hey, look, hold on. She talking about she been in a relationship because Paul called her ass. He's like, man, he said, what you do that? You've been in an off and on relationship. You keep somebody off a bait like that for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Spinning the block on 5 years, bro.
Wasn't she with a female? She was a female.
Man, I believe she is. Because the way she talk about men. I believe she screwed both, but I believe she probably love women more.
Yeah.
Than she do men. She only used men for the resource, man. She done said that before. I don't know why people. She didn't mention that before. I mean, we know the game, so don't be out here kind of.
But see, these independent females. If you're independent, why would you? This is my thing with these independent. It's crazy. If you're independent,
but they're not independent.
No, but they saying that, you know, that's the label.
Right, yeah.
You're independent. Why would you? So okay, a man, you still constantly need men and ask men for shit. If you were really independent, you would not be doing that. You feel me? But they don't want to spend their own money. That's what that is. It's like in a relation. They want, oh, you want to be, you want to have to, I want to, you pay 100 something, make 100 something thousand. You just want the nigga, you just want to spend his money. You want him to spend his money and you to spend his money too. And see, that's a selfish, that's the mom and the pop's upbringing, really responsibility. And when it's a single parent, which is the mom, that's your responsibility to teach the kids that's a ridiculous way of thinking. Fuck this, the TV and all that shit. See, these motherfuckers be letting their TV and shit and society raise the kids instead of them and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why they be like, oh, I want you, you know, the kids schools, all this to teach a certain amount of shit. But certain shit, they shouldn't really be teaching your kids if you think about it, because that shit is false fucking shit any damn way. Diet shit you should be teaching your kid. Like,
she getting up 15 minutes of fame, man, eating it up.
That man, she's burnt. Look, and then look, next time, if I don't do a show today and shit, I'm gonna definitely do one early in the morning or early tomorrow. But look, Karen Bass, we need to go. Man, that bitch needs to be. I want to try to get together with some motherfuckers out here, man. I want to try to get a petition or something going, man. That bitch needs to go or get something, trying to sue something, because that's bullshit, bro.
You say she Cuban too, huh?
Yeah, that bitch was like in the like down with some communist motherfuckers, bro. And like in Cuba, she was like with the Communist Party or some shit. But see, that makes sense because see, that's why you know the Republicans are full of shit too, because they'll be knowing shit about these Democrats. Oh, they were Cuban communists and they were down with these, and Kamala Harris's mom and all these motherfuckers, and you still let these motherfuckers run for president, dude? You still let these motherfuckers be senators and fucking, how does that work, bro? But see, that lets you know America was never against no communists. Because this is starting to become a communist country. Look at all the surveillance. We got more surveillance than China. So I don't want to hear, oh man, China be, oh man, they over there. Damn, yeah, y'all don't got no rights here. We don't got rights here either.
Well, you got a point.
What? Are we serious, dude?
Look.
Are we playing oppression Olympics with these motherfuckers, bro?
Yes,
what rights do we really got, dude? Like, and see, they make these bills behind. That's bullshit. The people need to vote on bills. How did he just pass this bill? The people need to vote on that shit. That's bullshit. That's what motherfuckers should be voting. They got you voting where you shouldn't be voting for the fucking president, and they got you where you should be voting. They got you not voting. When these motherfuckers pass bills, we should be in on that, bro. That's bullshit. Like, and then they determine your faith. Like, huh? But yet, the shit that don't really matter is when they run for president, and I got to be in on it and act like I'm a part of this system by voting for this asshole or this bitch or whoever. Like Kamala Harris had ties, her parents had ties to the fucking the Soviet or not the so was it not the communist, what is it, Socialist Party, you know what I'm saying? Fidel Castro, that motherfucker was a CIA agent. Hugo Chavez is compromised. You know what I'm saying? This lady, Karen Bass, so you know she was a communist. You know she has a background from Cuba, from these communist motherfuckers, but yet you let this bitch be the mayor of a city, bro? But that lets you, that's why I don't do all this. Oh yeah, that communist and all this shit, that party shit reminds me of Democrat Republican. That's some shit black people, I get out of that shit. That don't got nothing to do with niggas. Look, Democrat Republican don't got nothing to do with me. Because y'all could interchange and be a fucking Democrat one day, a Republican one day, and they could be a socialist one day, a Marxist one day, motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? A communist the other day. That's all bullshit, bro. It's bullshit to keep motherfuckers divided, to keep motherfuckers with this ideology and motherfuckers with this ideology and that ideology. And when it comes to find out when they pass bullshit ass bills like this, when it comes to really come together, we don't, because I think like this, you think like this, y'all got this going on, I got this going on. I'm thinking about me. We're desensitized, bro. People are so desensitized. Guess what? The more desensitized you are, the more
I got a question for you, Frank.
Yeah, the more likely you're gonna give another person the middle finger, like F you. It's all about me and my people.
I got a question for you, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Why Jasmine Crockett, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Name me some more names, attorney names. Why these motherfuckers ain't authorized no bills specific for black people? No legislation. Why they name it on no House legislation?
That's another thing.
They're attorneys. They don't have to be in the office of the legislature writing that shit up. They're attorneys. Y'all went to school for that shit. You know the law. You can write that shit up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And present it, whether they accept it or not. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
But you got goofy motherfuckers still champion these motherfuckers. When these motherfuckers is really bent over, touch their toes, spread their wide butt cheeks, and shit it in your mouth.
Facts.
Because they going to go do podcasts and shit and make it fun. Oh, they're fighting for free. No, they name it. They name it ain't no legislation for your ass.
You notice that?
What Jasmine Crockett name it? What bill she authorized to say this is to protect American blacks? A bill to protect American blacks, whether they pass it or not. Where's the paperwork at? Where's the document? Where's the files at? Where's the you know what I'm saying? Where's the bill at? But they name all these goddamn activist ass. How the hell you gonna be an attorney and a goddamn activist at the same time?
At the same time.
You gotta pick one.
Just like them slicksters, Black Lives Matter. Slick ass motherfuckers, bro. Like,
because even what's the name will have to get to work. What my boy name is? The boy won the OJ case trial.
Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cochran was active though. He was actively active, but he was active, nigga. He was taking cases and all this shit, bro. You motherfuckers ain't taking. When the last time fucking Jasmine Crockett represented somebody as an attorney? Or Barack Obama or Michelle Obama?
Good point, bro. They're all lawyers. That's a good point.
Oh man, these motherfuckers didn't play. At least Trump went for economics. He's using it. At least he's still using his motherfucking economic. You know what I mean? Economic goddamn. What's the name? Business and economic. Academic. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is they doing?
Yeah, Jasmine Crockett. I mean.
And people talking about, yeah, Jasmine Crockett, man, she out to fight. Bro, she ain't out there be just talking her fucking mouth like, but I can do that. Give me the mic then. I can run my damn mouth and whoop on motherfucking Republicans and Trump. I can do that. What, you know what I'm saying?
And you notice they do all this shit on behalf of immigrants. You notice all the talk that the Democrats are going up against, like Trump and these Republican motherfuckers, is immigrant talk and protecting them. And you couldn't do that. You violate rights, bro. Y'all are breaking the law by ushering these motherfuckers in, especially ushering these motherfuckers as over Americans.
Who's that?
BJ, they're not just ushering them in; they're ushering them in over us. That's a right, bro. It's all fake. It's all.
I just like to ask the question because you got people out here still cheering them on, like, yeah, they standing in there, they doing it. I'm like, okay, but where's the name it on bills though? Where's the name it on Senate bills and shit like that? SBs. What you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Damn.
All right, well,
now you're right.
All right.
But they do, look, their base, their base, you know what I'm saying? They're doing it for the future base is the legal immigrants, and their base is the immigrants. But then when the immigrant motherfucker, a lot of times they get established, they start voting Republican any damn way. That's the cold part about that shit.
All right, we go ahead now. Shout out to information.
Yeah, man. Instagram changed some stuff, I think. Somebody mentioned something about Instagram changing something.
Yeah, they gotta change. They gotta change something about something. I was doing the thing at the event the other day, and they saying if you don't have 1,000 followers or something, you may lose the live feature or some shit.
Wow. They would start charging motherfuckers because hey, that's the whole game, baby. You know, people gonna start running the Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna say F Instagram, run the Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Or what they call X. Nigga, that shit is Twitter, nigga. Got them big. But yeah, man, you can chop me up on Shaq Wall on Instagram and YouTube, man. YouTube, come out and play.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, man. But we gotta stay on it, man. I was just proposing to cats. The other day we gotta start our own political party, man. I think that's a must, man. We gotta get out of this shit. This Democrat Republican shit is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get out of that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get onto the grassroots level to where we can really see how a lot of this shit goes. You know what I'm saying? Face on, hands on. We gotta get on that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta start making some moves out here in California because I'm out in Orange County. I need to start going to LA more, man. And really shaking it up. I'm gonna call this damn senator, man. I'm gonna try to get in damn contact with the senator, state senator, because a lot of this shit stuff gotta change, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to change this shit. I gotta at least try something. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this stuff is ridiculous. Like even on the what's name, on the
Frank, you gotta get on the news, man. You gotta call a local news station.
Fuck around, real shit.
See Frank with that motherfucker, man. See what I'm saying, man? That's a psyop out here. Go in on them niggas, bro. Yeah.
Look, fuck around. But a lot of this shit got to change from the ground up, man. They'll never call for term limits in either side, Democrat or Republican, any side of the Senate and the House and shit, because they know damn well that's gonna be their seat up, man. And we got to replace these people with fresh people with new ideas, man. Shit got to start from the bottom up. It's always going to be corruption, especially when these motherfuckers are running the system. Get back to sovereignty, man. Get back to law. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all can hit me up on XX Frank Nitty XX on YouTube, and then Frank Jones 8115 on Instagram, man. So y'all hit me up, man. Check out the content. I'm gonna do a show tomorrow, man, like around like 11, 12 o'clock, something like that, man. Do something, start doing earlier shows and shit. Switch up the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But no, you got to work in the morning? Or were you off this morning?
I try to get up 5:30. I gotta take the boy. I got a lot of shit to do in the morning, man. Gotta take the boy somewhere. We move around. Matter of fact, I'm packing tomorrow too. I ain't gonna say where I'm going online, but I call you offline and tell you. But I won't be in Virginia, so I'll be in the movie. Yeah. But I did. But at least for my people, I did tell them where I was going this time, so they won't be calling my phone, telling me to beat my ass.
Man.
But nevertheless, thank you. I would say this. Shout out to my buddies in, like I said, Richmond and Georgia, New York, and everywhere. Shout out to even though she had texted me yesterday and she said if she's alive at 57, she might want to make a jazz tape for her, something like that. I think she got stage 3 kidney disease. So shout out to her, Miss Felicia Lockhart, Miss Dawson, everybody, Bishop Scott, everybody. What?
Stage 3, man. Oh man, I don't know what her situation is, man, but that could be reversed, man. I don't know what people she got around her. I don't know. She on a breathing machine and shit too, man. So her lungs and stuff, that stuff is no.
I know my mom had kidney disease. She ain't got that shit no more, man.
Well,
she don't.
Nope.
Yeah, because you can repair the kidneys, man. They tell you that, but stress. The more you stress, Frank, as you know, less oxygen, less oxidated stress can cause your kidney. You ain't got to be eating bad per se. It can just oxidated stress, poor sleep. You know what I'm saying? Poor hydration, your kidneys. It's a they can easily get damaged, but they're repairable if you know how to repair them. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop the damage. A lot of it is stress, putting a lot of stress and strain on. Eating a lot of the heavy foods and stuff, because I'm gonna tell you, when your kidneys get like this, it's gonna be hard for your kidneys to break down heavy stuff like starches and animal flesh stuff like this. It's gonna be hard to break it down. It can't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's gonna take a lot. So you gotta fall back and try to get closer to a organic. When I say organic, That means you can still eat possibly animal, but it's got to be fresh from the butcher, straight from the farm, straight from the butcher. The vegetables and fruits got to be straight from the farm, straight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No pesticides, no none of that. If you can find it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That alone, just changing that, can help repair that. It'll it'll stop it and it reverse it because now you're taking the pressure off of it. You're giving it time. You're giving it time to heal itself, and you're giving it things that can heal. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Real
But see,
shit.
they want to shoot you up with shots, and they want to shoot you up with these chemicals that the body still got to process, and they got to make them organs overwork just that harder. That's why when they put you on these drugs, it ain't gonna help it. Because why? You done just added another form substance in my body that my fucking organs got to recognize. They don't recognize that shit. They know this shit, man. They know this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And they got everybody on you taking down 11, 12 goddamn medications and shit, and you ain't getting no better. You stay in the same state.
All right, well, go ahead. Well, yeah, Frank, go ahead and finish up.
Yeah, so we gotta be, man. Just do the shit from the ground up, man. And I mean, obviously, these people like Jasmine Crocker, all these people are not gonna do nothing for you, man. And it's the talking points are immigrant talking points, or the talking points are somewhere overseas talking points, like or deportation talking points. For one, that shit is getting old, and for two, you know what I'm saying? You're talking these talking points to American motherfuckers. I don't want to. Real American motherfuckers don't want to hear that shit. I'm sorry. Even if I have the step parents or something that was Mexican or from Hispanic, wherever from these fucking countries, oh fucking well. You know what I'm saying? Even if Marvin Gaye was coming back to life and shit, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. There's no. I mean, and then when the time came for these people to give us sympathy and empathy and treat us like human fucking beings, they didn't. So it just doesn't work like that. But see, at the same time, like I was telling BJ, this is all a plan to keep us divided. This is all a plan to keep you know what I'm saying, us to us. Because when the real shit happens and we're really supposed to have boots on the ground and really have numbers and races, everybody come together, we're not going to because we're divided for so many different things. Got us divided. That's why they tell these motherfuckers all types of weird shit and do all types of paint us as the criminal and stuff like this on the news and shit like that. So when these other motherfuckers come for these countries and shit, they already fucking programmed. And they already got racist programming in their country already. So all that shit just does is reinforce what they was fucking already thinking about us. Stupid, dumb stereotype. You know what I'm saying? It's weird how you stereotype motherfuckers, but never even, congregated or even had a black friend or nothing, but you still stereotype. That's weird. If you stereotype, you got to know something about or know somebody for that to relate to that. Like, you feel me? But but we gotta really just stay on it, man. My bad, I just went on a tangent. We just gotta stay on it, man, and stay serious. These people aren't gonna do nothing for us, so we gotta do something for our people, point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? After this generation, after our generation, that's it. You see what I'm saying? What is the next generation and then what are they gonna be teaching each other? Like, how is that gonna work? They're not gonna have that same boots on the ground type. They might, I don't know, but from all the knowledge that we had and that we knew from the 80s and the 90s is not, you see what I'm saying? In the old guard is not going to be with the new group generation. Make sense? So we just got to stay with boots on the ground, man. Just, stay on it, man. And, we got to try to control the politics one way or the other, man. So, show that narrative, man.
All right. Okay. You did shout the channel, Robert. You did, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you did. Okay. Well, look, this is like I said. They look, God. They can say we wake up. Well, maybe I might be. Yeah, we wake up. You'll be 38 and 38 8s on 8s, and guess what? Hey, like I said, if you wasn't hanging with me then, I really ain't trying to hang with me now. Cause right now, this shit's so fucked up. Hey, look, that's why I always told people. I always kept a tight circle. Like I say, he does sometimes carry a big entourage, but at the same time, I thank them because at the same time, most of them always kept me out of trouble. It's not just guys, it's some girls too, women actually. So but that's it. I mean, hey, I don't even. Look, I will say I done had some real women out there and told other women that know me, hey, look, he ain't really that bad, girl. You just not gonna play the fiddle faddle game with him because he's just trying to figure you out, and then he gonna come back and give you his final verdict. Right. But take your time, man. Relax, man. It's okay, man. And remember, like Jenny can say, we gonna make it, brother.
Yeah, happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday, man. You know what I'm saying? Word.
Yes, salute, man.